Alright. Looks like it's live. Evening, folks. Looks like we're connected. Maybe I'm connected. Is it alive? That's a good question. Do we get a few people here? Welcome. We're going to play some Pauper tonight. First time ever. We've played one match in the league with this deck, and it's sweet. It's definitely sweet. So, we'll dive into some SCG Indie recap after a few more people flood into the channel. So, for now, let's just dive into some Pauper action. In my first match, 2-1 against Tron. Punted the one game that I lost. Deck seems like a guess. Alright, I had to refresh my chat there when it wasn't connected, it looks like. So, oh good. Is Moto locking up? That would be wonderful. This is Pauper Blue-Black Teachings. It looks like Magic Online is hard-locked, or the Pauper League is hard-locked. This is alright, I guess I'm restarting Magic Online. There's links to the deck list below the stream. This is basically a blue-black hard control deck that relies on mystical teachings for card advantage. Is anyone else getting stream lockups? I look like I dropped a couple of frames, but it looks like it's connected pretty solid now. Less than 3%. Pauper teaching. So basically, I flickered for a second, but it's working fine now. Good, yeah, and the dropped frames are going down, so we should be good. I just reset my modem and router because I look like they're having issues, but cool, excellent. So this is basically a hard control deck. You have 3 win conditions in the main deck. The first one is Curse of the Bloody Tome. You just cast this on your opponent, and then eventually they mill out because like you just play all your answers and eventually kill them. The second one is that this sweeper has buyback, and it damages players in addition to creatures. So with Pristine Talisman, you can sit here and gain a bunch of life, and then just justice your opponent to death while you're gaining life with Pristine Talisman. So it's hot, to say the least. So basically all their main deck removal is just like null and void for not playing any creatures in the main. When we need to close a little bit faster post-board games, we've got 2 Gurmag Anglers on the board, as well as 2 copies of Muldrifter for additional creature threats. So without further ado, let's jump into the league. Hopefully it works this time. Oh, look at that. Okay. A restart seems to have done it. He had a slight hiccup at the beginning, but it looks like... Good evening, Professor. Have a sword. I'm already 1-0 in this league, so, you know, I'm saying there's a 5-0 chance. There's definitely a 5-0 chance. Oh, Daniel Tiger, don't worry, Dad's on it. My toddler has been wronged. Daniel Tiger turned off. This hand seems very good. It's a little bit slow on the draw, I guess, if our opponent's playing something aggressive, but otherwise seems great. And I am still learning the Pauper metagame, so I'm sure I've literally played one match, and it was against Rugtron. So I'm sure we are going to get savagely blown out by a number of different things that I just don't know that I should be playing around this evening. So it should be fun. Alright, Lone Missionary, sure. Don't really care about that. So I think we just want to get Counterspell online ASAP. Another Chainer's Edict, or it lagged and clicked that. I was actually... playing the Swamp there actually isn't the worst. I was going to say, because we drew a second Chainer's Edict here, I think we actually wanted to play the Swamp there, and the reason for this is, now we can Edict him this turn, next turn, play this other tapped land, and then Edict whatever threat he plays next turn as well. So, even though I wasn't at first going to play the Swamp, because we drew a second Chainer's Edict, I think it's worthwhile, because it lets us curve out. Look, Standard's dead, Modern's dead. We're going to play Pauper and Legacy and maybe some Vintage for the rest of the month. All the lands, they just gain everyone life. It's so neat. Plays another threat. Angelic Road. Whenever a creature is put in your grave from the battlefield, you may do if you do return that. Interesting. Hey, Killian's right. And that was a phenomenal draw, just like not punished at all. So playing the island out doesn't let us Mystical Teachings next turn unless we draw another land. But it does let us counterspell this turn, so... oh, yeah, that seems great. Sure. And this doesn't trigger unless the creature dies. Thank you.
Hi! You miss me? You want to go upstairs with me? Come on.
Commander is essentially, like... Commander isn't supported on Magic Online because, like, Command Tower doesn't work and lots of other cards don't work. Alright, so he's just passing the turn here, so that's good for us. We just get to go ahead and accumulate some knowledge. So accumulate knowledge is a sweet draw card. The first one draws one card. The next one draws two cards. There's one of our win condition / sweepers. So again, this does damage to creatures and players, and you can buy it back. So Mom got home, so I can pause Daniel Tiger. That sounds great. He's only got 4 cards in his hand, so... we're actually just going to Teachings for accumulate knowledge here. Just like Teachings to draw 2 cards, basically. Since we have a bunch of counterspells in hand. So I think I want to do this as opposed to Pristine Talisman, because I'd like to hit a land drop this turn. We missed on the land drop front. We're only at 7 cards here, so I'm just going to ship the turn back because I'd rather hold Counterspell up. We are going to play Legacy at some point. Maybe not tonight. I think I played one match with this Pauper deck, and I was kind of hooked. This deck just doesn't actually win the game. It just sits there and kills them, or sits there and doesn't die, and then eventually they die. It's great. Font of Return. Return up to 3 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Well, that seems like a must counter. That's like uber value. So now he gets to stick a threat here, which he doesn't have. No threat here is gas for us. Well, that's wonderful. Crypt Incursion. Oh, look at that. Just our one main deck Crypt Incursion being random hit against him. I think I'm gonna lead on Pristine Talisman for now and just pass the turn again. Next turn maybe we'll Compulsive Research. How much does this deck cost online? $30, I think. Configurations range from like 15 to 50, I think. I think the configuration that I'm playing that's linked below the stream, I think was like 30-ish. And I didn't let price be a consideration in what I was building. I just looked for the deck that looked like it was configured the best. So he's tapping a bunch of manas here. Rune Processor. Rune Processor may put a card opponent on the player's graveyard. If you do, you gain 5/5. Do we care about this card? It's a 7/8. It's a 7/8 that when we kill it, When we kill it, he's going to get to... yeah, I feel like this is fine. I really don't care about this. It's just like a 7/8 that we can kill later. Let's just tap our Pristine Talisman to gain a life and just not care about this. We're just gonna like Innocent Blood him and then maybe Crypt Incursion him in response. Ooh, I'm a sucker for drawing a bunch of cards. Let's draw us 3 cards now because there's 2 accumulated knowledges in the graveyard. The win con for this deck is annoying your opponent to death. So we're gonna Chainer's Edict him. And then this is going to trigger Angelic Renewal. And we could Crypt Incursion in response here, but I think I'd rather just like let this come back into play and then Innocent Blood him. And then we'll play this basic island. There is no win con. The win con is literally this card that deals 2 damage to each creature and each player with buyback. And we have Pristine Talismans to gain life while we do that. So just like, the win con is misery, basically, which is sweet. The win con is I'm going to make sure I stay ahead on clock on my opponent. That's the real win con. Yeah, don't care about that. You have a 2/3. Congratulations. There's one Curse of the Bloody Tome. Fair. There is one Curse of the Bloody Tome, but I consider that like a pseudo win condition. It's not really a win condition. It's just like kind of a win condition. Let's compulsive research actually here. Land, discard Dismal Backwater for now. Ship the turn. And I am down on clock, so maybe this wasn't the best deck to read the bones. Yeah, we're gonna counter that. Just like not let him get card advantage here. Maybe this wasn't the best deck to pick to play first, since like I'm not gonna be able to interact with the chat a whole bunch, just because I need to be able to play really quickly. So I think we're gonna go ahead. This costs 7. So that's cast with buyback, and then we'll disfigure this. Go ahead, bud. Your move. We do play a capsize. That is true. There is 1 capsize in the deck as well. The bans don't go in effect on Magic Online until like the middle of April. I don't think. Another Read the Bone, sure. I'm still getting used to these 2 cards. Like I was like, oh, that doesn't cost 2 mana, but he tapped 3. He just had Ballistas. Yeah, we've got Mystical Teachings here in the bin still, so we definitely don't care about this. Like this is just like play a Venkar's Justice with buyback here, and like we tap the Talisman, so just actually don't care. Make sure we don't accidentally cast it without buyback. Tron is a tier 1 deck in Pauper. Oh, look at that. This card draws 4 cards because it's the 4th one. Just can you feel the value? And we get to bounce this Lonely Sandbar, which we can cycle. Let the value flow through you. Alright, so we're going to bin Echoing Decay, I think, here. Just like, don't even need all these things. I have all these things. I don't even know what I want to do with them. So we're just going to go ahead and cast Mystical Teachings here at the end step. Opponent, I just don't understand how people beat this deck. I'm told Delver's a bad matchup, which I guess I believe. How about Capsize? Capsize sounds like a nice card to make our opponent super miserable. Which of these cards make our opponent the most miserable? Okay, we'll get that one. Let's just cast Crypt Incursion here instead of discarding it. Just like exile all the creatures out of his bin and gain infinite life. Oh yeah. And we're gonna start capsizing his bounce lands here. You're weak to fast aggro. Sure, I'd believe that. Oh yeah, bounce that land. Get it out of here. What is Pauper? Yeah, Pauper is a format where only commons are legal. The card has to have been printed at common at some point to be legal in Pauper. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we can capsize twice here is what you're telling me. That's all I want to do in life is capsize people. Look at, how can you not love capsizing people? Just like bounce all of your permanents. Yeah, get him out of here. Move to discard? You're so unlucky. Opponent had to discard. He's so unlucky. Let's see if they figure out they should concede yet. That's the real kicker. The game is over, but our opponent has to choose to concede. Just like, what do you think these cards? I guess that card doesn't even do anything. There aren't even creatures in his discard pile. It's like capsize with buyback. These types of decks don't exist in Modern Magic anymore. In like every sense of the word. It's like, look at this. We're just capsizing all of his cards. He's not gonna have a board. This is truly beautiful. This deck is doing God's work. Yeah, he figured it out. We ain't playing Magic anymore. You're just gonna slowly wither and die. Slowly wither and die. All right, I don't even know what we need to sideboard here. Man, do I want, like, I guess it didn't seem like he had a lot of little creatures in his deck, so maybe I don't want this disfigure. Gurmag Angler probably, like, beats down his giant idiots, like... Yeah, okay, I think I'm going to bring in the Gurmag Angler just because, like, he's definitely boarding out his removal. Back note with the first donation, so thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. So if you see at the top there, I've had a lot of people asking me if I'm going to be going to GP Charlotte, so I decided that I'd see if I could raise enough money on stream to do that. So GPs cost a large amount of money, not only to fly to, but also because they're more difficult to cash than opens, just because of like the volume of people that go. So if I can raise some money, I can definitely get out to Charlotte. So thank you for the support back now. I appreciate that. So Gurmag Angler, I think we're cutting the Disfigure. Crypt Incursion actually seems really good against him. Curse of the Bloody Tome seems medium. I feel like we can just annoy our opponent to death or like kill them with Justice and Anglers. Anyone who's played more Pauper than me think any of the other cards are reasonable? Like Unmake seems okay. He's got some big giant idiots, I suppose. He does have big idiots in his deck, so I could see Unmake being okay. Maybe I'm not supposed to leave Innocent Blood in my deck if I'm boarding in Gurmag Angler. So feel free to comment if you have strong opinions one way or another, or even just weak opinions. Annoy our opponent to death is definitely our primary win con. You'd keep the curse. Unmake is good. Maybe we just don't want the anglers. All right, maybe we'll just like leave the anglers out and put these in. Thanks, K-Smith. I appreciate it. All right, yeah, let's just do this. This actually like lets us win the game. All right, let's submit. This is probably fine. Just like don't really sideboard at all. I like cut a disfigure for something. We could disfigure for unmake. It seems fine. I scrolled through the 5-0 Pauper lists. This is a very easy mulligan, just one land. And another easy mulligan. Yeah, that's sad. I think I keep this for the scribe and accumulate knowledge. Guild get on top. Keep. Seems actually be kind of reasonable. We pick up another accumulate knowledge, we can get ahead. This list is Sawyer Blatz, who is someone I've traveled with to events a couple of times. He 5-0'd a Pauper League with it, and he's really good at playing control decks. So I figured if I was going to copy anyone's do nothing control deck, it was going to be Sawyer's. So Sawyer, if you're watching, thank you. Got 160 people hanging out already. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. These cycle this Barrenmore. This format's just got like a lot of sweet cards in it, and I've always wanted to explore Pauper, but like never had a good chance to. So Magic Online being, non-existent right now seems like a good. It is in my deck list below. That is correct. What? Oh, I should read my cards. I'm sure that's not the first time we're gonna do something like that tonight. Whoops. So I just assumed this was 3 or less. But apparently it's 2 or less, but it can still target things that cost more. It's the old mulligan to 5. Give our opponent a free card. That's fine. We won game 1. It's cool. I'm pretty sure our deck's just got way more value in it than his deck ever could possibly dream of, so we'll be fine. We'll make it up. This counters little spells. This counters 2, and it kicks to counters 4. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You go for your. I guess his deck has some value in it, but our deck's like the king of value. I just assumed that if it let me target him, I was going to get to counter his spell, and it lit up, and so yeah, I deserve that. That's fine. That's fine. That's a mistake we'll make exactly once. We've learned it. I was reading chat and I was laughing, and yep, you know. Mindraker enters battlefield. You may put a card opponent owns from exile. If you do, each opponent discards a card. Well, that's really rude. I guess we'll accumulate knowledge. Compulsive research is not bad. It lets us get up on cards. I think Tragic Slip is going to go. Yeah, it's just like black-white value mid-range stuff. It's got like some... Ooh, that's really good. Counter target creature spell. That artwork on that is beautiful. I haven't seen that version before. So I think we're going to hold Exclude up here as opposed to playing out the Compulsive Research. If we had a Prohibit in our hand right now, we'd be sitting very pretty. Thoughts on Prohibit in Modern? Prohibit seems like it would be a sweet card in Modern. I'm going to just exclude this because I don't want to hold this card up forever. And I know he has better creatures in his deck, but like I don't want him to like not play anything else this turn and then have, you know, us just like not used our mana efficiently. So I want a Compulsive Research next turn. Angelic Renewal, that's fine. We can kill this and then Crypt Incursion in response. So let's go ahead and cast this before we play the Dismal Backwater in case we don't draw any lands. And we didn't. I think we still definitely want to discard the land. Next turn, we can accumulate knowledge to draw 2 cards and still hold up Counterspell / Chainer's Edict. His clock isn't particularly fast, so we've got that going for us. And game 1, he conceded early, so I guess I don't have to rush as quickly as I've been going here. Yeah, Read the Bones is fine. Thanks, everyone's hanging out here tonight. We're going to play some Pauper, maybe talk about... If you have any questions about SCG Indy, I top 16 there again, making it my third standard cash finish on the Open Series this season, which is not easy to do, that's for sure. No, don't Bajuka Bog me. That makes my accumulate knowledge so much worse. Ugh. Ugh. Well, we're still gonna do this. I'm gonna play the Aqueduct. I think I'm gonna bounce this island. Yeah, I'll just pass the turn back now. That's unfortunate. So accumulate knowledge draws cards plus equal accumulate knowledges in your graveyard, and he had a Bajuka Bog there. So I guess we're just taking our licks here. I did not play Dragon Master Outcast. This is good for us because not only does it get to counter that, but it puts another creature in his bin, so we can Crypt Incursion to gain more life. Innocent Blood, that's pretty good. So I suppose I'm going to start by Innocent Blooding, and then if he sacrifices Mindraker in response to this trigger, I'm going to go ahead and Crypt Incursion him. Okay, so that's fine. If he wants to put this one, if he wants to put Sky, yeah, he doesn't want to put that one back into play. So now we're going to edict him with Diabolic Edict, and that gets this off the table. And then we're going to Crypt Incursion him in response to this trigger this time, because he wants to put this one back into play, I'd assume. We're just going to gain a bunch of life here. Unfortunately, the way this is worded, we can't, like, get him. He's still going to have the Angelic Renewal in play, but I really don't want him to Mindraker us again. So just gain infinite life here. Angelic Renewal stays in play. He's at 4 cards. We're a little bit behind, but not too bad, considering I messed up the Prohibit pretty badly and we mulliganed to 5. It's literally the curse and annoying them to death. We won game 1 by capsizing all of our opponent's permanents back to their hand, which was just truly a thing of beauty. If you've never won a game by capsizing all of your opponent's permanents before, would highly recommend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Swamp there and hit us both for 2. Yeah, this card buys back and hits players for 2 damage as well. So we've got that going for us. Murder. Alright, I think we're just going to cast this with buyback. Just like keep the Lone Missionary off the table, keep our life total high. So we've got a Chainer's Edict in our graveyard that flashes back for 7. We've got a Murder. We've got a Justice. So we can kill a lot of guys right now. Yeah, another Lone Missionary, man. You do you. So we're looking for, like, Pristine Talisman or just... We're actually not really looking for much. We're just, like, we're looking for card advantage at this point. Like, another Accumulate Knowledge would be great. Our namesake card, Mystical Teachings, would be great. And, like, he's going to get to Font of Returns at some point here for these idiots, but, like, we didn't spend any cards to kill these idiots, so... Yeah, man, you read some bones. Pristine Talisman would be nice because it would start padding our life total. Yeah, man, Mindraker. So we're going to have to discard a card to this. I think we're just going to bin the Chainer's Edict. Ooh, this is annoying because he's going to Angelic Renewal it, and then we're going to have to discard another card. What do we have here? I could teach Teachings for Accumulate Knowledge and draw some cards. That seems okay. I could do that as end step. Yeah, I think I'm going to take one hit and do that at his end step and just see what he does here. Because I don't want him to, like, play a Bajuka Bog or something random and, like, exile our graveyard and get, like, Chainer's Edicts and this Mystical Teachings. We did board in Unmake. Ooh, we could unmake this, couldn't we? The value player in me wants to get something not unmake, but unmake is probably... Oh, that's what he's doing. I've got it. Okay. It's like a combo. Returns his thing to his hand. That's fine. We're gonna Teachings for a counterspell here. Oh no, we're gonna Teachings for Exclude. We've got another Exclude in here, don't we? Oh yeah. Counter target creature spell. Counter target creature spell. Draw a card. Oh, it feels so good. Counter your spell. Draw magic cards. Oh baby. Who's excited? I'm a little excited by that. So our Crypt Incursion already got used. How's it going, Iron Man MTG? Welcome. I appreciate the support. We already used our Crypt Incursion, so we can't. We're not gonna be able to do anything in response to this font. I just played Dismal Backwater tapped here. So we've got 1, 3, 6. He's got a Bajuka Bog that he's used here to exile the yards. I think I'm just going to ship the turn here, because in the event that he uses the font, I want to flashback Teachings and counterspell his Mindraker. We just take our licks here. Like, he doesn't have any real clock on us right now. Flashback. His plan is likely going to be using font during my end step, I'd assume. So let's flash this back. Man, how deep am I supposed to go here? I could Teachings for Teachings. Let's Accumulate Knowledge. That's probably fine. Just like draw all of the magic cards. This draws 2, and then we found a Teachings. That's wonderful. And we drew Counterspell. It's like Christmas. Every day is Christmas. We drew all the cards. Charlotte is a modern Grand Prix post-banning, so should be a good time. Jeez. So, God, we're going to get this game too. I didn't think we were going to win this game. Like, we mulliganed to 5, and, like, I threw away our counterspell on turn 2, and just, like, none of it's mattered. We're just, like super duper value town. Do I care about this card? I don't care about this card, do I? So what can I do here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. Yeah, I guess that's fine. We're just gonna like Doomblade some of these things. Oh, I do care about that card. That's what let him reuse the Bajuka Bog. Right, I did kind of care about that. I guess it just gets rid of the Chainer's Edicts, which we really don't want to tap out for anytime soon anyways. Oh, he killed the Accumulate Knowledges. That's fine. I don't really care. I think this is the card I wanted to stop. And like we've got like Doomblades and stuff for these idiots. Like I've been a little sloppy here, but like this deck is just good enough to like power through, it looks like. And now we can't get accumulate knowledge to draw a bunch of cards, which is sad. But everything else is going basically as planned. Just get another counterspell. Let's Doomblade this idiot. Not being able to accumulate for 3 might bite us. Let's see if he wants to get this back. Yeah, I would say you might want to get it back and get the Bajuka Bog back again. Yeah, that's fine. Teaching is unmake, sure. We Echoing Decay only gives -2/-2, and I think I boarded it out. I don't remember if I boarded. I guess I could look in a second and find out if we boarded it out. So we've got 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're 1 mana off of playing this with buyback and then playing it again, which is probably going to be the plan. Oh, Echoing Decay plus. That's fair. Okay, so we're going to go to 12 here. We're going to flashback Teachings in response to his Bajuka Bog. Yeah, so we could Teachings for Teachings. We could Teachings for Teachings, but I think we just like want to draw the answers. We just want to actually get like things that do things with Mystical Teachings here. So I can go Justice plus Echoing Decay. That seems okay. And then, like, if we hit an untapped land next turn, we can have Counterspell up still. Seems fine. And, like, our hand is mono answers right now. The thing we have to remember is that Justice does do damage to us, so until we find one of our 2 Pristine Talismans, which, I mean, we only have 27 cards left, so we're probably going to find a Pristine Talisman at some point soon. We do have a finite life total to work with. Untapped land was actually just the Stone Perfects there. Again, that's what we wanted because it allows us to do this plus Echoing Decay and still hold up Counterspell. So we do this with buyback, do 2 damage to these guys, do Echoing Decay to this guy, and this goes to all the things with the same name, so go away. He could have a removal spell in response here. Cloud Shift. That's rude. I think I have to do this. And be like, probably has another one here. His deck's probably just like a bunch of Cloud Shifts. This is actually going to work out very poorly for us. Yeah, look at that. And then he gets to return the other one to his hand. Did he return? He returned Crossroads. Alright, that's fair. Oh, I guess because this doesn't have a target anymore. Sure, so we're going to 6 next turn. Alright, we're going to lose this game. Which, with the volume of mistakes I made, I would be super, super impressed with this deck if we won this game. Because I messed up a lot. The way these games have played out, I think I want the Gurmag Anglers in the deck. I think that's definitely a thing I want. And I think that means we want to cut the Innocent Bloods. And Negate seems okay. Like, he's got a lot of non-creature card advantage. Echoing Decay seems super medium. Maybe we just want 1 Negate. Tragic Slip could also be kind of medium. Let's try this configuration, perhaps. I think this seems okay. Let's try it. I mean, Pauper seems fun. I've only played 2 matches so far, but I've been enjoying this deck. It's thoroughly obnoxious, which is this hand just does everything I want to do. It draws cards, it counters spells, plays Dimir Guildgate, you know, whatevs. Is Talisman good against him? I think Talisman is fine. Like, buffering our life total against, like, his little idiots that are attacking for small amounts is pretty reasonable. And this deck's probably a great candidate to play more than 60 cards in. Ooh, so we're gonna accumulate knowledge, try and draw land here, and we missed. I guess that's a good, easy way to lose. Maybe he'll miss the land drop too. That would be great. Nile Spellbomb, rough. Mortuary Mire. Ugh. Well, this is rather unfortunate. Am I discarding here? I feel like I'm discarding here. I like all of my cards. Capsize we're just not going to be able to play until forever. So yeah, I guess I might just Agony Warp this. Yeah, that's probably fine. Well, If we Agony Warp this, then he gets to play the card that discards a card next turn, but I guess we're, like, discarding anyways, so, yeah, let's just do this. That's fine. Maybe I'm supposed to Doomblade that, because this kills the 4-mana 3/3. Hey, Steelix. I mean, the Evencar kill is not very good against him, because, like, his deck gains a lot of life. So, like, the Curse of the Bloody Tome is definitely how we want to be killing him. Yeah, I guess removing the discard. I'm going to bin the Capsize here, which may or may not be greedy. I just feel like we're not going to need that effect. Like, it was funny winning game 1 with it, but I feel like we're more likely to, like, win with Curse of the Bloody Tome. And I'm gonna counterspell this. Just, like, gives him pressure and draws some cards. Seems good target for that. I'm surprised he's left. I guess he can sacrifice creature, look tough creature, exile one of them. That's interesting. Well, at least we're drawing castables. We got that going for us. I think Capsize is fine to have in the deck. It's definitely the discard in that situation, though. Agony Warp over Doomblading the Lone Missionary, just like coming back to thoroughly rail us here. Okay, sure. Exiled an island from the top of our deck. So he's probably gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna counterspell this. Again, it adds pressure to the table and it lets him do tricks with his lands. Yeah, I think I'm just passing the turn. This was super rude. Just like exile the island off the top of our deck. God. So if this would have resolved, I assume he would have returned the Mortuary Wire and put Phyrexian Rager back on top of his deck, which I didn't. I didn't want any of that to happen, so that's why we countered that in addition to it being a 2/3. Yeah, so that we've got an island in exile, so we do have to deprive this, which sucks because we're gonna have to return a land to our hand, but I feel like we just don't want that to be a thing that happens to us right now. Yeah, Radiant Fountain. So what do we want to do here? I think... Yeah, I think we don't want to not leave the negate up, because if he plays like the black font and returns like 3 creatures from his graveyard to his hand, we're going to be in huge trouble. And like his clock right now isn't great. Yeah, but look at that. Look at that. Play well, get rewarded. Get out of here. The one sideboard negate being clutch. Don't play a second one. Don't do it. Ugh. Ugh, that's a combo. Now he gets to put the Mortuary Mire back in his hand. His deck's sweet. Seems like there's a lot of sweet decks in this format. So this lets us draw 2 cards unless he cracks this for no value. And he just let us draw 2 cards. So, you know, deal. Not feeling good about this game. I guess we've got like counterspells and stuff to like deal with some of his idiots here. We're under a little bit of pressure though. So I guess this font is a little slow. Mortuary Mire, probably put Mindraker back on top of his deck, yeah. Then he can play font and activate font. Read the bones. Okay. And then has he played a land yet this turn? I forget. If he hasn't, he can play Mindraker this turn. There's the font, sure. Punt top. I think we're gonna go Dismal Backwater here and hold up Exclude. Again, just like not under, I guess we're under a little bit of pressure at this point. Pristine Talisman's gonna alleviate a lot of that starting next turn though. We can Doomblade this idiot. Although I suppose, like, if we exclude the Thought Raker, he can then font Thought Raker and Oromancer, which is a loop. That was a good draw. There we go. There we go. Crypt Incursion is beautiful. Of course, Skyfisher, sure. As he returned. Mortuary Mire. He's probably gonna put the Mindraker on top of his deck again. Yep. Let's play this. I think we're gonna play Pristine Talisman out here. Start buffering our life total a little bit. What are we discarding when he plays? This is still the first matchup. I think I'm going to Doomblade one of these guys. Maybe I'm supposed to murder it. Just murder the Skyfisher here. Oh, he has Cloud Shifts in his deck. I should have murdered on our turn. Yeah, he's got a Cloud Shift here. Oh, he's Thought Picker Witching it, sure. Exiles a swamp. So still taking away lands. Maybe there's just 2 lands on top of our deck too. Howdy, Maxter Blaster. So probably binning... I guess murder means we can't kill the 3/3 he's about to play. So that could also be a mistake. I've been really sloppy this game. And sloppy the whole match. It's like not used to playing around the cards that he's playing. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures in his graveyard. So I guess we Doomblade the Auramancer, and then we Crypt Incursion him for a bunch. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the Chainer's Edict for now. And then he can't activate. This takes 4 to activate. Yeah. So probably put the Mortuary Mire back in his hand again. And then he's almost out of gas. Oh, Mindbreaker isn't black, is it? Oh, it's the Void. It's the Void. Thank you, chat. Yeah, go chat. Look at y'all. Y'all are the best. Getting Evolving Wilds. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's Doomblade this idiot. And then Crypt Incursion him for a bunch. Alright, well, we can't Crypt Incursion him, which is sad. This could go pretty poorly for us here. He could Font next turn. He's got mistakes have been made. Exiled Lonely Sandbar, sure. Alright, so I shouldn't have thrown away. We stumbled and bricked a little bit this game, but I definitely threw away the second game. Evolving Wilds being tapped is so sad. We could have. Now he's going to activate the font. Yep. He's going to play this again, and we have to choose between these 2 cards to keep. I think we're just dead now. The cloud ship being the last card in his hand just like was too much for all the stumbling that we did this game. Maybe we can hit like, oh, there's Justice, but that basically kills us. Yeah. I guess I'll draw cards and see what happens. Lands, discard Dismal Backwater. Chainer's Edict you. Oh yeah, then we're dead on board. Alright, well, I punted that. I missequenced a couple of things that game for sure, but the stumbling didn't help. Honey Mox. So for those of you that just joining us, we are playing Pauper for the first time this evening. We are playing a blue-black Mystical Teachings control deck that I'm going to be fumbling around in the format with. I beat Tron in the first round of this league, and then just punted away a 3-game set against an opponent playing a black-blue or a black-white controlling-ish deck. Yeah, it's 9:40 here. So actually, the kids are upstairs with my wife. She was out late tonight. That's why my stream started late. Opponent F6 through their turn or kept a no-lander, one of the two. Either way, good for us, I guess. I'm going to assume he F6 through his first turn. So this is one of our win conditions. Basically, the deck's just really good at, like, staying alive. So you just, like, put Curse of the Bloody Tome on them and slowly kill them. This could run into a counterspell. I don't think we care. This resolves early, and he's playing anything close to controlling deck. This is just great. And, like, if he could have, like, discard spells in his deck, too, so, like, keeping this in our hand isn't great either. So, always yield. We've got 2 Accumulate Knowledges in our hand, which is great. F6 is what you do to automatically pass priority, which means if you press it at Magic Online, doesn't ask you to respond to anything for the remainder of the game, or the remainder of the turn. I'm gonna play, I guess just the Dismal Backwaters is probably just best here. We can't cast Counterspell because we don't double blue up yet. We can, however, cast Accumulate Knowledge, which is nice. So opponent looks to be playing a blue-black controlling-ish deck, so playing Curse of the Bloody Tome against him seems very good. So that lets us cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty good. Lets us cast Innocent Blood and still hold up Counterspell plus Accumulate Knowledge. Opponent is also playing a Teachings deck, sure. Seagate Oracle. I'm going to accumulate knowledge in response to this. We might want to burn a counterspell on this if we draw another one. Mind Games, Teaching. So next turn, we have 5 mana. Yeah, I think I'm just going to let this... He's missing land drops. Let's counter this for now. He might be looking for lands. I mean, my sample size is small, but this is my third match. This is my third match playing against a third different deck, so... It's got that going for it. Exclude was a very good draw. This counters a creature spell and draws a card. Just does actual everything. So opponent's playing these creatures in his Mystical Teachings decks. We don't have any of those. Why would you want creatures in your deck? Those just die. Muldrifter. I think Muldrifter is going to get excluded from this party. Play Evolving Wilds out, then deck. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this was at 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, that was fine. So we can Teachings for Counterspell here if we need it. We have another Muldrifter. Yeah, so Muldrifter is a 2/2 flyer that draws 2 cards for people that haven't seen this card before. So we're gonna Teachings for Counterspell here, and definitely Counterspell this. And this is resource number 7 for us, and then we can play Radiant Fountain untapped here, and then we can Teachings for Counterspell Flashback next turn, or we can just draw Counterspell. It's pretty good. And again, Curse of the Bloody Tome is just like milling our opponent for 2 every turn. So he's already down to 32 cards in his deck. Concedes. We played untapped land. We could have gotten excluded there. Sure. Yeah, I threw away game number 2, and game number 3 I definitely missequenced a few things too. So like that matchup seems like it's probably ahead for the teachings deck, but I definitely played very poorly. I just drowned your debt deck. So I think I'm gonna bring in Maul Drifters. Those seem good in a value mirror. Dispel and Negate seem reasonable. Probably don't want Innocent Bloods or Tragic Slip. Channer's Edict's probably medium. Probably don't want all of them. Yeah, Brainstorm's legal. Brainstorm isn't very good without a bunch of fetch lands. So like without being able to clear your Brainstorms consistently, like Pauper Delver plays Brainstorm, but they play Thought Scour and Mental Note to clear their Brainstorms afterwards. So that's what they've got going on for them. I think I'm gonna clear. I probably don't want to cut both the Avenkar's Justice. This is probably a Gurmag Angler matchup, actually. I guess this kills a bunch of Maul Drifters. Let's try this configuration. This feels like it's a matchup where I want the beaters. I'd like to thank everyone for hanging out here tonight. Looks like we got about 250 people chilling. I know there's a lot of awesome people streaming, a lot of different things you could be doing on a Monday night. So I appreciate you choosing to spend your time here. We are not playing Ponder. I am playing a deck list that a friend of mine played to 5-0 in a Pauper League recently. No duress. Alright, another counterspell. Sounds great. This card's so good. Hymns to Rock. Deals 1 damage to our creature player and 1 damage to target creature player with opponent's choice. Interesting. I'll play that. This card does just attack for 1, sure. Demir Guildgate. Everything's sounding out well. You're more entertaining than Qian. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, you know, it's hard to be entertaining for a long time. I'm sure Qian's been live for a little while here. Is Qian still streaming? It's a little late for him, isn't it? Evoked. Yeah, we're still going to counter that. This is so you can evoke Maul Drifter, so it's basically a creature divination. But so countering this is essentially a 2-for-1 for us. Play a Radiant Fountain, gain some life back. We play 2 copies of Pristine Talisman, which gains us life. So Pristine Talisman allows us to gain life. Mystical Teachings. This card gets any instant or creature with flash out of your deck. So in this case, I think we're just getting a... I'm just going to grab an Exclude for now since we already have a Counterspell in our hand. This lets us have Exclude plus Counterspell up since we don't have a 4th blue source just yet. I could jam Muldrifter here, but it's very possible opponents playing like Excludes of their own. Thank you, Google. I already took the garbage out. Ooh, that's so rude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bad beats. So, Pajuka Bog exiles the player's graveyard. Would have had just one more turn. We could have done that in response. Teachings of his own. Yeah, that's fine. He teachings for teachings. The slow burn. All right. You can't. YouTube has essentially the same thing. In fact, they were doing it first. Just mind game. So this is a tap target artifact creature or land with buyback. So we're just gonna like cast this and try and tap his land at end step here. It might encourage him to use Mystic Teachings, and it might even just like burn a counterspell on it. In all honesty. I'm going to go ahead and negate this just because. And then we're going to go ahead and cast Muldrifter next turn for full value. Hopefully we hit an untapped land here so we can hold up Counterspell still. And, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I just saw untapped land and automatically clicked it, and it does not cast Counterspell. Hopefully we don't get burned for using the negate here. Agony Warp. Yeah, that's fine. You killed my divination. Muldrifter of his own is going to be pretty good here. Yep. That's unfortunate. So I think no, I don't want to cycle that just yet because we want to hold Counterspell plus Exclude up. Surprised he left Agony Warps in his deck, actually. Maybe I should have cycled this during his unstep. That's probably a distinct possibility of something I should have done. He has another, he has another Teachings in his hand. I don't know if I like going for Muldrifter there. Maybe. I mean, like, the downside was that, like, I wasn't expecting him to have removal for Muldrifter in his deck, in all honesty. Like, if we're being completely honest, the fact that he had a way to interact with my Muldrifter outside of combat surprised me. Yeah, I'm confused on how he sideboarded in general. Hilarious Max with the brand new sub. I appreciate the support. Subs are the absolute best way you could support the stream. We are almost to our 100 sub goal now here of our 100 sub goal of having our first 12-hour stream. So that sounds like a good time. If you are enjoying the constructed content you see here, we play Standard, Modern, Legacy, Pauper. We also stream Constructed Hex here every once in a while. So if you like any and all of that and you want to show your support, subbing is the best way to do that. And you help us do the goals. Yeah, Flashback's fine. So he has a Dispel in his hand that we know about right now. He Teachings for another Teachings, sure. Sure, man. We are going to need... Maybe I trimmed too much removal out of my deck. That's very possible. All right, well, let's exclude this. I'm pretty sure we're winning this counter war because we have negate plus counterspell here. And we drew Mystical Teachings. Sounds like yes. Well, thanks. I really appreciate it. Do I just want to get another Accumulate Knowledge here? We've got 2 counterspells in our hand. I could see another Exclude being good, but we're going to get to flash this back as well. So yeah, I'm going to take an Accumulate Knowledge for now and just like try and build up a mass of cards. I'm going to cast one of these now. Hit a land drop. That's why we were casting that then. It does cost us, yeah, if someone asked if it costs us money to stream. So Twitch doesn't charge you directly, but, you know, there's a lot of time and energy that goes into streaming, that's for sure. And the more income I'm able to derive from streaming, the less I have to do other jobs. So he's got Dispel, Counterspell in his hand right now. I'm going to go ahead and Doomblade this guy. Try and stem the bleeding. Because if that dies, then this Pristine Talisman just keeps his witches in check, which is great for us. Dimir Aqueduct. Okay, so that's going to bring back its Bajuka Bog. I'm going to flash back our Teachings at end step here. I don't know if I want to fight over this. I'm not going to be able to fight over it. Yeah, I don't think I care. Like, our hand is pretty reasonable. It's the same. It is the Dispel he got, so he has a counterspell left that we know about. Let's go ahead and crack this Evolving Wilds. Yeah, it's Concubine Witches, which isn't good against us, except it doesn't die to our two damage removal spells, I suppose. That was the best thing we could come up with why I would play it. So he's going to flash back a Teachings here. I'm going to go ahead and Accumulate Knowledge to draw 2 in response to this. Pristine Talisman is wonderful without Mana Burn, I agree. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Interesting. Okay, so Grim Harvest is his end game. So this Crypt Incursion is actually gonna be pretty reasonable. Oh, that's annoying. We're gonna counterspell this. He might pick a fight over this. Nope, he just wants to fight over his Grim Harvest. Dispel's a good draw. And now we're going to start actually gaining life here, since we have 2 Pristine Talismans. He Grim Harvest in response here, so we're going to Crypt Incursion him, which exiles all creatures from his graveyard, and then we gain 3 life for each one exiled this way. So he has to have 3 counterspells to beat us here. He's just letting it happen. That's fine. So we gain a bunch of life. We are down on clock here, which is something that's super relevant. Seagate Oracle, sure. So again, these 2 cards together are not beating our Pristine Talismans, so still really don't care. Chittering Rats would be annoying. Or Seagate Oracle. So now he's got us on a 24 turn clock. Crypt Incursion is just for like random value and gaining life, which it's been very good at so far. We really just, I was just going to say, we need Curse of the Bloody Tome to stick. And we've got 2 counterspells to force this through, so hopefully that happens. So there's the counterspell that we know about. Alright, this is a 15 turn clock against him, so we are on a 26 turn clock, or 20, is it 26 turns? We'll see. I don't think he could probably have like Capsize to interact with this. Hey, Kitchen Pinks. Awesome. I always love talking with people. If you ever see me at an event, I'm going to be at SCG Baltimore is my next open that I'm going to be at. So if you're going to be there, feel free to say hello. What's he got here? Muldrifter? Yeah, really don't care about that. I guess it speeds up his clock, but it also quickens our clock too, right? Because it, which is, sure. So he's dealing a little bit of damage every turn now. We can start mind gaming his creatures during the upkeep. So yeah, let's do that. So this taps something for 4 mana with buyback. And if he counterspells, it doesn't go back to our hand. But if he doesn't have a counterspell, this will work out okay. And look at that. Now he's only effectively doing 1 damage to us this turn. So we have 2 Pristine Talismans. This format is Pauper. It is an all-commons format. The deck that we are playing costs like $30 to build, I think. Something like that. Mnemonic Wall, return instant sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. Sure. So he's going to return Ghostly Flicker, I assume. And then Ghostly Flicker allows him to exile. He's returning Counterspell. Oh, because he wants to stop. He wants to stop the mind games. Sure. So Pikachu on screen there. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate the support. If you're enjoying the Constructed Magic content or Constructed Text content that we do here, I'd appreciate a follow or a sub. Those are the 2 best ways you can show your support for the stream. So he has Counterspell in hand. We're still going to go for Mind Games here. So we have Negate to fight the Counterspell. I think it's a Modern Masters set, or Vintage Masters. I went 4-2 on day 2 of the Open. So, I've won it 11-4 overall, 9-4 if you don't count my buys, so GP Charlotte is a modern Grand Prix after they fix modern. So a lot of people have been asking me. I play a lot of modern. So people have been asking me if I'm going to go to the modern Grand Prix. And excuse me, normally I don't. Oh, repeal. No. So he has a counter spell. So this is going to eat a counter spell, which is sad. But maybe he doesn't have a counter spell to counter the curse on the way back down. Is what we're hoping here. Deprive. Excellent, excellent draw. I would be lying if I said we weren't running well. So now he has to have 2 counter spells here. So let's pay this, and we get to return this Radiant Fountain to our hand. Curse the Bloody Tome. Is it going to resolve? Oh, it does. And then we gain 2 life from this Radiant Fountain. Target player sacrifice the creature targeting himself to get the Grim Harvest back. That's adorable. That's really cute. So our opponent's going to sacrifice the Mnemonic Wall, I assume. Yeah. Which, okay, so we're going to turn off auto yield. So if he casts the Grim Harvest at end step here, he can't cast the Grim Harvest, right? Oh, wait. I'm supposed to... No, I couldn't get him that way. Am I supposed to kill something else here? I think I'm supposed to kill... I'm going to kill his Mauldrifter here in response. Always yields. Mind games. Tap one of his guys. This is just like such pure magic. We're milling him out with a Curse of the Bloody Tome. Another Pikachu on screen there. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate the support. Welcome. So Mnemonic Wall is going to get him back Repeal to bounce the curse, I suppose. So Graham. And then he plays the wall out, which gets back. He can get a bunch of different things here. He's only had 14 cards in his deck, though. So, like, this Bloody Tome is, like... It's going to punch the clock and go to work here. You gonna Ghostly Flicker, Wall, and Seagate Oracle? Sure. You get, like, Repeal and, like, look for a counterspell here, possibly. So he's gonna Seagate Oracle first. Mnemonic Wall is targeting Ghostly Flicker again. Sure. Echoing Decay. So Echoing Decay can gain us 2 life. So what can I do here? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, toddler. Hi, family. How are we doing? Yeah. Oh, that was an eraser? I thought it was a sponge.
Did you use it on dishes?
Yeah.
That's not good. It's not for dishes.
Alright, so we've got 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 mana. So we can Mind Games him 3 times and then Chainer's Edict him, which gets rid of the Grim Harvest. So yeah, so I'm going to Mind Games 3 of his lands here, and then move to my second main phase and Chainer's Edict him. Is the plan here. Gets rid of the Grim Harvest out of his yard.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get lost.
Alright, so that's fine. So we tap all of those. Now while we change main phases. And Chainer's Edict. So... Oh. That's a line I hadn't considered. So Ghostly Flicker is going to let him blink stuff. Oh, we could have just cut him off black, couldn't we? I didn't think about that. Yep, so he's getting counterspell back. Sure. So I guess I'm just gonna cast this and use it up. Yeah, that seems reasonable. And now I'm taking him off blue because this way he can't cast counterspell or Grim Recovery. So now I'm just casting this just without buyback because it only costs 1 that way. Now we're gonna change the main phases. And we're gonna go ahead and Chainer's Edict him here, which means he can't pay for the recover cost on this Grim Harvest, which means it's going to have to get exiled, which is good for us. Almost 300 people hanging out this evening. Welcome. So Grim Harvest got exiled. He's down a guy. He's down to 10 cards in his deck. So not only does he have to answer the Curse of the Bloody Tome, but he has to kill us before he draws out. And he's only got 3 power on the table here, so we're probably in an okay spot. Another Mnemonic Wall. Sure, man. Get all the things you want. I don't think he has enough power and toughness. Yeah, that's definitely the reason these are in his deck. He just doesn't have enough power and toughness to beat us down. Like, he's definitely the aggro deck in this matchup. Like, we're hard control, and he's supposed to be the aggressive deck. Yeah, man. Look, and he's going off here. He's got Ghostly Flicker, double Mnemonic Wall. So he gets to get back Flicker, and then, like, get back an Echoing Truth, sure. And then he can Echoing Truth this plus Counterspell us. Flashback Chainer's Edict, I guess. The internet says hello.
Hello, internet.
How was your drawing class?
It wasn't a class.
I hate how Magic Online, you cast your spell and then click this, then it makes you click the things over here. It's so annoying. Sacrifice another idiot. And again, we just want to make him take enough time. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So he's Echoing Truthing either the Pristine Talismans or the Curse at end step here. All right. So again, he's doing his thing, but there are only 10 cards left in his deck at this point. So what does Soul Manipulation do? Counter target creature spell, return target creature from your hand. Okay.
What do they say? We got a reader. Are you a reader, honey? Are you a reader?
Mm-mm. Oh, he's Bajuka-bogging me. My poor Chainer's Edict. Don't get the better looking Hoagland out of the stream. Alright, yeah, man. He's doing his thing. He's gotta kill us before, like I said, he's gotta close the game before he draws out. We have a race, a good old fashioned race, as they say. He's gonna put his Chittering Rats back into his hand. He'll cast Laboratory Maniac in his last turn.
There you go. Now you can play on all sides.
Should you sell your Mox Opals? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they banned Mox Opal. That would not be the list of things that surprises me. And I'm gonna cast the Curse. It's getting Counterspell, but I just don't want to get Chittering Rats to bunched. So I know this is eating Counterspell here. Again, we're just trying to win before he can. So he's going to cast Ghostly Flicker here, which I'm going to go ahead and, well, I guess I'll wait to see what he targets with the walls here first. I'm probably going to Echoing Decay the rats here while he's... I mean, we're not locked out of cards. We're going to cast this Echoing Decay. Like, that's how instants work. I would not be surprised if they just banned all of the fast mana in Modern. Simian Spirit Guide, both the Eldrazi lands, Mox Opal, just like ban all the fast mana that exists in the format. Alright. Kill us. But I mean, like, even if he had a Dispel there, our hand would still be empty, so we're not locked out of cards. Look at that. He did a whole point of damage to us. We're down to 26. So now he's dealing 1 point of damage to us a turn. I really like Modern as a format, and I like Modern because it's managed. Modern is a good format because Wizards manages the format. Look at that, Devour Flesh. Did he make us discard or something during my draw step? Ghostly. Oh, that's cute. Well, it's a good thing most of our deck is instants, huh? Well, I guess as soon as we draw a land, he can lock us out. So like as soon as we hit a land, he's gonna be able to just like Chittering Rats a land during our draw step. So that's fair. Good thing we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lands in play. 12, 13, 14. So there's only 10 lands in our deck. Opponent concedes because they know they can't kill us in time. That's beautiful. Pure control mirror at its finest. Put this work of art up on screen here. Who needs win conditions? Not us. Not us at all. Yeah, Bloodbraid Elf's probably fine. Deathray Jump is definitely too good. All right, so I just ran a commercial, so we're gonna take a minute here. And, wait to start here so I don't punish people for watching the commercials, because I appreciate people that don't have ad block because they help support the stream. So again, we're waiting because I ran a commercial. So this hand's medium, but probably keep. And then we're gonna wait a second to start till the commercial's done. Appreciate everyone hanging out here tonight. A little under 300 people. Opponent mulligan to 5. It's probably good for us.
Hey.
If running, 1 to 2 ads an hour bothers you, I apologize, but Twitch doesn't exactly pay the bills, so we pick up what Twitch pennies we can where we can. So I run them between matches. I do not think Stoneforge Mystic is coming off the ban list anytime soon. Stoneforge Mystic is banned for very similar reasons to Green Sun Zenith being banned. Tutors are too powerful and decrease format diversity. He's insane.
Just like rubbing his face on.
See Pikachu on screen there. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate the support. Welcome to the stream. Opponent mulligan to 5 and it's cast 2 Ponders. We're going to go ahead and cycle our accumulate knowledge here. I think Ancestral Visions could reasonably come off. We need a blue source. Although I'd take any land next turn so we can cast his Mystical Teachings, but I'd like a blue source for this card. Opponent's just on like mono islands. I wish I knew this format better. No land is not good for us. We are not playing Standard or Modern until April. Okay, opponent's playing Delver. Okay, makes sense. I'm gonna Doomblade now. Yeah, man. Just cast all these removal spells we got into your counter spells, it's fine. Spell Stutter Sprite, Mono Blue Delver, sure. I mean, we have to have big changes to Modern because Eldrazi is miserable. So, like, at the very least, they're going to ban the Eldrazi lands. I would not be surprised if they did more than that. Pauper Elves, maybe at some point. I'm kind of having fun playing this deck, so we'll see how these go. But if I like something, we stick to it for a little while usually. And this deck is sweet. Winning the game's overrated. Black source or blue source, untapped, ideally. Opponent went bottom top. Alright, they kept one of those. Spire Golem. There's a card. Look at that. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and play that, and then he's out of cards, so we're just going to go ahead and Echoing Decay the Insectile Aberration. It's exactly right. Why spend time winning when you could spend time not losing? So we're going to go to 16 here. We're going to Chainer's Edict him. Oh, that Accumulate Knowledge draws 2 cards, because there's an Accumulate Knowledge in our graveyard. We're not going to play it out now, because I want to hold Counterspell up in case he plays another threat. And just take our lick for 2 here. Yep, like that. I could Justice this away, but I think I want to burn Counterspell here. Like, he could have a Counterspell of his own. He wants to fight over this. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and accumulate. Could hit a removal spell here. Aqueduct gets to bounce this Radiant Fountain, which is hot. Really? He's been holding it for our card advantage. That's interesting. Like, he just has 1 threat on the table and thinks he wants to keep it. Like, I feel like we have way too many cards in hand for that. And, like, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 5, so this is land number 6. So that means, and that's land number 7, so that's sweet. So now we can Teachings for Counterspell next turn. We could Teachings, if he doesn't do anything that we want to Counterspell next turn, we're going to Teachings for an AK and try and draw 3 cards. And then on our turn, we're going to flash back this Chainer's Edict and kill a Spire Golem. Won't you take me to Value Town? Won't you take me to Value Town? No! He countered my spell. How about if we kill your creature? Flash back my spell. Don't daze me, bro. Don't daze me, bro. Don't do it. Have a heart. Vapor Snag. Sure. Still a 1-for-1. We have actually, it's a 0-for-1. We're gonna go ahead and cast this Chainer's Edict next turn. This card's so sweet. Affinity for Islands, just like it's a 2/4 flyer for scaling amounts of mana. What costs 4 mana? Ninja of the Deep Hours. Huh. So what am I doing here? I think I'm just cashing in. Justice. That seems okay. I guess I'm going to cast Compulsive Research. So let's do that first. Lands, discard Evolving Wilds, cast Justice. And then next turn we can flash back the Chainer's Edict or cast Murder to deal with the Spire Golem. Now we're just going to cast it from our hand so that way we can hold up Exclude. And if he has a protection spell here, I think we're going to fight over it. Spell stutter sprite. Oh, we can just agony warp. We could exclude this. I guess I want to save exclude in case he draws another Spire Golem here. So I'm just going to agony warp this in response, which gives it -3, -3. So that way we still kill a Spire Golem, and then this way we can exclude a Spire Golem if he draws one. Definitely exclude that. Get our draw on. Looking for like a Pristine Talisman to lock up the game here. Yeah, don't even make us kill him. Sweet. Good on you. Dispel's probably great to fight over his counter magic. How do we actually want to win the game here? Duress probably isn't terrible either. Negate's probably a little bit clunky. The buyback spells are probably loose just because they get counterspelled and they're expensive. Avenkar's Justice is probably pretty medium. Crypt Incursion I could see being bad. Just like, it might be good to buffer our life total, but on average it's probably not great. I think I'm going to try a board like this. Bring in the Dispels and the Duresses and cut Incursion, Mind Game, Capsize, and those. So let's try this out. I don't like bringing in the Gurmag Anglers because he's definitely leaving in Vapor Snag against us. Tiny Angry Human. What does the matter, Tiny Angry Human? Can you pass him to me?
I just want to see my dad.
Are you upset? You're
I'm on the other side of the cage.
You're locked out? Oh, no, take him back. He pooped. That's why he's complaining. Your mom wants to change your diaper. Here you go.
I changed the last one.
Yeah, right. I've not. I just copied a 5-0 deck list and sleeved it up. These are the first matches we played with it. We are 2-1 right now.
You think Mama's funny? You think I'm funny? You think I'm funny? Here, have some toast.
That's fair, Tyler. I mean, sure, but I change diapers all day. It's Christy's turn.
You don't get to hold me going to work against me.
Okay, so this hand's sweet. We've got some cheap removal spells. We've got mystical teachings.
Oh my gosh, stop! It's just a diaper change.
My youngest is going through a phase where every diaper change is a chore. Fairy Miscreant. Enter battlefield. That's a card. Alright. Oh, he has a double Fairy Miscreant. Oh, jeez. Alright, sweet. Well, we get the... This is technically a 1-for-1 since one of his Miscreants can't tripped. This means I want Shrivel in post-board, though. The fact that he's playing this card on top of Delver and Spellstutter Sprite means I want some Shrivels. This was, again, still only a 1-for-1 because this one drew a card.
Declan! It would go so much faster if you wouldn't fight me.
So he's not doing much of anything. I'll just play the Guild Gate out, Pat's turn.
It is not that bad. Stop.
My 2-year-old's actually not that bad. It's my youngest is 10 months right now, and he just like is super wiggly and like always wants to get away. And see Pikachu on screen there. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate the support.
Stop growling at me. You angry little gremlin. Stop growling at me.
Just buy brown carpets and let him run free. That sounds like solid advice.
What?
This card's so powerful. Innocent Blood. Card's really good.
Advice?
Buy brown carpets and let him run free.
That's nasty.
Just like Hardcast Ninja, Stormbound Geist. Yep. That card's really annoying.
Alright, Dad, I'm clean. Why are you so angry, little boy? You still have a binky down there?
Not sure.
You okay? The ball?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, they're both ready for bed. Unless you let them take late naps.
Babies poop many colors. True words. True words of a parent right there. Oh, so he's got a Stormbound Geist in his deck, so we should board in the unmake for the third game here if we get a third game. And probably the Muldrifters. I like that idea. Muldrifter like blocks his idiots, and it's just good value. Why are you so angry, tiny baby? I'm going to play AK here and try and hit a land drop. My wife just went to make bottles, so the angry child will be done soon. He will done being angry. Shh. Mom is making food. I promise. That's true. Other people can mute their things too. I guess I could post in chat. The bottle is coming. I know. Bottle in bed. It's about that time. Playing this might have been greedy here, but like it was a good opening to like resolve what's kind of our win condition. This does open us up to get ninja'd here though. And now -3 power, -3 toughness. This is probably not resolving, and now he's going to start drawing cards. Yeah, I think I played this sloppily. Pretty sloppy overall. Missing a land drop sucked. Like, we could have had Dispel up there if we had missed a land drop. We'll play the last game on the play.
You need to calm down, Anger Pants. Stop. There's no reason.
Into Gush. Gross. Radiant Fountain. So, it's just past the turn back. I guess I'm going to go try and get a Disfigure here. And kill this Ninja of the Deep Hours. This Stormbound Geist is really good against us. Gush is not legal in Legacy, no. Gush is definitely banned there. For a good reason. We are playing a blue-black Teachings control deck, and I'm told by the people that play it that this is the hardest matchup for the Delver decks. I don't know if they meant this mono blue Delver deck specifically, but Gush is definitely Pauper legal. Well, that's a card. I boarded the second one of these out. That's probably wrong. Now this is a 3/3, so we're dead in 3 to this. He has a Spire Golem in his hand still, too. So we're dead in 2. Sure, another Dispel. Yeah, a little bit too far behind this game. Definitely boarded poorly, too, though. So let's bring in Unmake, the Extra Justice, the Mole Drifters, the Crypt Incursion. Could even be okay, because you can, like, Crypt Incursion him in response to the Undying trigger. Shrivel might be medium as well. So what we want to do here. Mystical Teaching is a little medium. Compulsive Research is clunky. These cards are just like clunky. I don't think I wanted to be depriving against the Delver deck. Murder is probably a must play. All of the edicts seem reasonable. Duress still seems great. Teaching is just super clunky in this matchup. I think I'd rather have Muldrifter as card advantage. It dodges his Dispels. And Crypt Incursion's probably not good enough. Let's try this configuration. I'd like to play first. His hand seems reasonable. The mana's a little bit awkward to start. We have to choose between turn 2 Innocent Blood and turn 2 Counterspell. Edict is actually really bad here. I disagree that edicts are bad. You just you want to run all of their threats out. Yeah, you want to kill everything they play. Any card they could play is a threat. It's yeah. So I chose wrong here. I chose to put Counterspell up on 2 and he had Delver on 1. So if we get Ninja of the Deep Hours here, we're just like DOA. He's missing a land drop. He's missing a land drop and doesn't have a cantrip. Alright, that's good for us, I suppose. And he drew a creature. He didn't flip the Did he mulligan? Yeah, he mulliganed to 6. Okay, that's fair. Drew a counterspell. That's not something that he can cast. Cast Innocent Blood. Play Guildgate. counter this. Again, just killing all threats. We'll play Justice next turn, and he counters our counter. He just doesn't have it. So I'm going to play... So playing Island out plays around Spell Pierce, and this is our win condition, so I want to play around Spell Pierce. This doesn't let us cast... I'm aware I can't cast Unmake next turn, but I wanted to make sure this resolved. So next turn we'll fetch Swamp with his Evolving Wilds. Can someone explain to me why the Evolving Wilds is better than the 4th Dimir Guildgate? Is that... It doesn't... I'm just playing someone else's list verbatim because I like to do that. Like, you should always play a successful list before making any changes to it. And I'd play, you know, probably at least 2 leagues with this deck before I'd make any edits. But why is Evolving Wilds better than just having another Dimir Guildgate? Like, because if that Evolving Wilds would have been a Dimir Guildgate on one, we would have just, like, snap played it and then been able to Innocent Blood right away. Huh. Do I want to unmake? I probably want to save the unmake for something later. For Delve. Okay, so like it's literally for the 2 anglers. We only have 2 anglers in the sideboard. It just seems super narrow. Getting dispelled, yep. Devouring Flesh. I guess I could have used Justice there, but if he plays out multiple things, I'd rather have the Justice in the bank. Yeah, we're not playing Brainstorm, so like we don't really need the shuffle effect. We're not playing Ghastly Demise. So, again, just not a consideration. And again, I feel like if any of those things are really worth considering, you'd be playing like four Evolving Wilds. No Threat is awesome for us. Prohibit is a reasonable draw. We've got 6 lands, so we're 1 away from flashing this back when he does find a threat. We've got Curse of the Blade Tome, hit 2 creatures that turn. That's pretty good for us. Cast with Kicker. Yeah, we're not playing any of the 1-mana cantrips, so it doesn't, that doesn't affect us. Alright, and then we'll Avenkar's Justice this next turn. Untapped land? Untapped land? I think I want to cast this instead of the Murder, because Murder can kill. I realize we can't buy this back, but that's fine. We're decking our opponents, so we don't need this as a win condition. Hey, Zach, what's going on? It's like milling all his win conditions. It's great. This card's so good. And we get to bounce our Lonely Sandbar now and cycle it. That's such value. Much wow. Such a combo. This deck does not run... we're running 2 Exclude. I'm going to go ahead and cast Murder at end step here, so that way if he has Counterspell, he has to get through this and Chainer's Edict. I just don't want him to start drawing cards. And he knows we have the... UTD Zach with the resub. Thank you for the continued support. You didn't have to do that, man. I was impressed that you subbed after that silly opponent of ours conceded in the first place. I mean, I know nothing about Pauper. I took a list that 5-0'd something, and it's a list that a friend of mine was playing. I know the person that built this list, and he said he felt it was reasonable, so I'm playing it because he said he felt it was reasonable. Try and kill this guy.
Why are you playing a stupid pointless format?
And if we kill this here, then we get to flashback Chainer's Edict. Doomblade's not bad. So flash this back.
What are you doing, goofball?
This dodges Dispel. Mana Leak does not dodge that. Well, we're just going to kill this now. So that made that live. I didn't even think they played that card. Just learn something new every day. Figure between Counterspell and like Deprive, they wouldn't have room to play something like that. Hold one land in hand, that's fine. He's milling out very quickly here. Please no Daze. Oh, Daze would have been really bad there, huh? So never hold 2 lands, but holding 1 land is fine. Alright, so Innocent Blood, kill this 1/1, you know. So opponent's got 4 turns. So if he finds another threat, actually we're killing at least one of his threats here, so this is good. And the edicts are actually nice against his like vapor snags and stuff, because like targeted removal, he could just like vapor snag his idiot in response. So he's dead in 4 here, and he's got a 7-turn clock on us, so he needs another threat. He's cantripping, which takes a turn off of his clock, which is great for us. Are you being a brat, toddler?
Hey.
I found another threat.
No.
That's pretty good. This threat, is this draw optional? Yeah, it's draw is optional. Alright, well, during his upkeep, we're going to go ahead and disfigure him. Wow, we might actually be 1 turn short here. So he's going to draw, and then we go to 8, and then he's going to go to 2 cards. No, we should get him, right? He needs to play another threat this turn. He needs to have like 4 power or something. Chose not to draw a card. So if this hits him 1 more time, we should be good. I guess that hits him 2 more times. So all right, he's down to 3 cards in his deck. The old race him with the Curse of the Bloody Tome. So he has to have like a bounce effect for this Curse of the Bloody Tome here, or he's dead. And he has to have a counterspell. So he has to bounce this, and he has to counterspell the Pristine Talisman, because this will put us out of lethal range from these. And then maybe if he has a bounce plus a counterspell for this. Come on, pass the turn. Yeah, get milled. Get milled. Woo! It's Una's Grace in our deck. Una's Grace is not in our deck, so we're going to go ahead and pull the deck list up here. And again, links to the deck list are always below the stream. The old race him with the Curse of the Bloody Tome, which is good because we flooded a little bit there at the end, so not the worst. Is MTG Bot dead? MTG Bot is not in the chat, is he? Thing's been having issues lately. That's sad. Appreciate everyone hanging out here tonight. If it's your first time to the stream, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a grinder on the SCG Tour, currently ranked first on their circuit. We play a lot of constructed Magic and constructed Hex here. Play Standard, Modern, Legacy, Pauper in terms of Magic, and then Hex only has one format, so we play the constructed on that. Standard and Modern are pointless, useless, dead on Magic Online until the middle of April, so we're going to be streaming Pauper and Legacy in our Magic time for the remainder of the month. In Legacy, we play a lot of fast combo decks because those are the most fun. Tess is the next deck I want to play. Looks like MTG bot status is dead right now. I'm going to try and refresh the overlay and see if that works. This is like the perfect like 62, 63 card deck for sure. Yep, MTG bot is just like not working, so we'll just get rid of that for now. Standard is dead because bottom and on land. Standard is dead because we don't have a new set on Magic Online until the middle of April, and there aren't any major Standard tournaments until after rotation with the new set. Tess is the more consistent turn 1 deck, and we are trying to play all of the decks that kill our opponent on the first turn of the game. Yeah, whenever someone's like, I had a hard time finding this card, I'm like, you do realize the internet exists, right? And you can just like fill a shopping cart and hit buy now. Well, that's really good. So our opponent's playing some kind of Buggle strategy, it looks like, which I guess actually we have a pile of edicts in our deck, don't we? Probably for this exact deck, we have a bunch of edicts in our deck. I'm just gonna go ahead and cash this in now. It seems like these decks are usually light on creatures. Because the decks that are generally playing sweepers are generally okay matchups. You play Sin Collector and...
Hey! Oh, he wants in your lap.
Alright. So what are we doing here? I think we're just playing... We're playing Accumulate Knowledge and passing the turn here. I guess we could hit a... Yeah, let's cast this now. We can hit another Edict. And then I tap my lands wrong, so we can't hold up Counterspell. So I guess we'll just play this and pass the turn. So we can cast Murder next turn. Cast Murder plus Counterspell, hold up. I mean, Puka Trade exists and like other means. Like you can sell your cards. Can I have hope?
I see them.
Okay.
I'm not ignoring them.
This card got really big really fast. They probably play protection spells, I'd assume. I guess I don't want... Vines of the Vastwood's a common, right? I'm just going to kill this now. He could, like, play another Ranker next turn, but I think I'd rather just, like, kill that now and, like, get it out of the way. Not risk getting blown out by something I don't realize I should be playing around. Colony Garden. Yep. That's the thing. Slippery Bogle. Okay, we're going to counterspell this idiot. Oh, I guess I have Justice in hand, so I didn't need to do that. Yeah, that was kind of sloppy. Yeah, we'll just pass the turn for now. I guess if he's not putting things on this, we don't need to do anything. If he tries to, like, equip this with a Ranker, we'll Echoing Decay it in response. If he plays another creature, we can exclude it. Yeah, so we'll Echoing Decay this in response to his enchantment. Yeah, toddler. This is my oldest, Jacob. He was, my younger one was hanging out earlier. This is my 2-year-old. Say hi to the internet, Jake. Isn't his hair great? It's hilarious. Alright, so we won. I assume this matchup is great for us. So probably bring in Shrivels, Negates, and possibly Duresses. I know, toddler, I know. So what else do we want to get rid of here? Compulsive Research is probably a little slow. The counter spells are all probably great. Maybe I don't want Duress. I just want Negate. I see that being true. Any thoughts on this configuration? Do I want these other cards with the sideboard? That's fine, the arm. I shouldn't have punted those games against your black-white deck.
You're okay. Come here. I don't want you playing with this gate. You're gonna get hurt.
Agony Warp seems bad. That's fair. Tragic Slip could be better than Agony Warp. It's cheaper, too. And it can kill things. Maybe I just want Duress over that, though. Unmake could be okay. Yeah, Unmake seems good, actually. Because he's got the Gnarlids. Slip hits more than Disfigure. Okay, yeah, that's Disfigure kills the Gnarlid. I guess is often too big. This hand's really good with a Black Source, so I'm going to be greedy and keep it. This hand's, like, really good with a Black Source. And we've got a cantrip on the draw here. Swamp. Rats. Alright, we got another card that draws cards. That's fine. I cut the Crypt Incursion. We're playing it in the main deck because it doesn't seem like it's very good. Solana Ledgewalker. Sure. Black Source. Oh, we're so unlucky. We're just the unluckiest. You playing with your trains? You got all your trains lined up? Look at these sweet trains. Oh, jeez. All these trains. Yeah. Oh, you showing your trains to the internet? That's so cute. I said, look at these trains. He started putting his train in front of the camera. Yeah, look at that. Are we going to get flagged for, like, Thomas the Tank Engine copyright infringement? Thank you for sharing your train, Jake. You are such a good boy. It's fine. We're going to AK into Swamp Shrivel here, and it's going to be great. Might counter a Ranker. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get that Boggle out here. You mean Daddy needs a Black Source? That's not a Black Source. Ugh. Okay, so I didn't count him on the fact that he could drop a land there. So playing the AK was super sloppy there. Would have much rather played Counterspell. I guess we're playing this. Oh, we found Aqueduct. So if we're not dead in 2 turns, we might be able to get out of this. We need to discard 2 cards here. Discard Island, negate. We could just die here. Like, the hand, I said the hand was greedy. The hand was very good if we drew a Black Source. But it might be true that just, like, our average hand is so good in this matchup that we didn't need to risk this. We didn't need to risk it for the biscuit. And now it's a little awkward. I shouldn't have played that. That was the wrong land to play. Because now I can't Edict plus hold Counterspell up. So that's bad. Yeah, so I'm going to Counterspell this and then Edict him. The Devour Flesh here. Alright. He's found another. You have another Ranker? No, another Boggle. Oh, that's not good for us. Black Source, untapped. Curse Justice. That's not good. Chainer's Edict you. Alright, so we got pretty punished for what I did this game. So we are just dead now. So again, this matchup actually seems very good for us. And again, that hand was good if we hit a Black Source, but I think it's fine. Like I said, we're probably ahead on average in 3 games. I am going to bring in the Crypt Incursion and cut the... What? Can I have help? No. Can you take him first? Yeah. Time for toddler bedtime.
Whoa! Don't slam your head around.
I mean, it's almost 11 o'clock here. It's way past his bedtime. Howdy, Boffity. So he's going up to bed now. Mom just dragged him off kicking and screaming in the most literal sense. So I'm mulligan that first hand just because it didn't really do anything in the matchup that we're looking at here. Heliod's Pilgrim, sure. I assume Devour Flesh is there over Diabolic Edict because when you bring in Gurmag Angler against aggressive decks, you can... When you bring in Gurmag Angler against aggressive decks, you can use it on yourself to gain life. This deck really doesn't care about the opponent gaining life. Like, if your opponent's going to win the game because they gained life, you probably weren't winning that game anyways. Oh, you're next. Mom's putting the toddler to bed, and then the infant's going too. Yeah, I'm an Echoing Decay this kill a Rancor. I should have left double blue up here to bluff counterspell. Because now he can jam a threat because this is 2 mana. He could play the snapping guy. Or the Gnarlid. I mean, Seeming Spirit Guides are like $12, right? Like that card costs way too much money right now. If he has Glade Cover Scout, sure. If he has Eternal Ethereal Armor, yeah, of course he does. I have no idea. This is not my deck list. We copied a 5-0 deck list. Like, again, I don't make changes to deck lists without playing them first. The person that built this deck list made their decisions for a reason. And it's probably because, like, you know, that card's not legal. So I think I'm casting Justice here. I know the Young Wolf's going to undie, but this gives us drawing another Edict as an out next turn to kill both of these. Like, if he just has another threat, he has another threat, whatever. He probably boards in extra threats in this matchup like Young Wolf. Ancestor 20 kill you. Yep.
Where's my next victim?
Alright, well, we went 3-2. I can't draw cards off the top of my deck to know if we'd have gotten there if we just got lucky. Alright, let's try again.
Hi, buddy.
I probably shouldn't have kept our hand in the second game, and then the other matchup that we lost, I definitely made a bunch of mistakes in.
I'm going to bed, so keep them on.
Alright, catch you later, babe. Love you. Ancestral Mask. It gives the creature +2/+2 for each aura you control. MTG bot is down. It was working when we started streaming, but it is not working anymore now. The 100 ticket challenge is every Wednesday night. So I am 2-1 in that with the Restore Balance deck, and we'll be playing that again come Wednesday. Alright, well, I'm going to save the Edict for now, because he could have things that this doesn't kill later, like Spire Golem. Hey, so that's a medium land. Question is, are we picking up Dismal Backwater or this? I guess if we draw a Mystic Teachings next turn, I'd rather have this Swamp in my hand to replay, so each enchantment. It's not even each aura. So it's just very good. So this casts Spire Golem here, which we can then Chainer's Edict on our turn. Do I want to cast Compulsive Research? It seems fine. Looking for a couple of lands here, because we'd like to have more lands for next turn. It's also could just, like, eat a counterspell, which is fine, because then that means our plethora of removal is going to resolve. Yeah, I'm going to be greedy and discard a land here. And we're only playing 2 Aqueducts, and I had someone telling me that I should be playing more Aqueducts, and I understand why from a control deck perspective, because, like, this is 2 land drops and 1 card, essentially. So I understand with that mindset why you would want to play this card. I'm going to play this tapped and just try and murder this on his turn, I think. Like, good chance this is it's like a Spell Pierce or Dispel, a Counterspell, Mana Leak. Yeah, Mana Leak, sure. Chainer's Edict you. This leaves Exclude up. It means we can't cast Teachings. Getting counterspelled again, Deprive. Makes our Exclude more likely to resolve. It means we can't flashback Teachings though, because we're only on 3 mana. Yeah, I'm going to exclude this. Just want to, like, draw lands. And again, if he counterspells it, whatever, he gets his 1/1. This also makes his other 1/1s much worse. This is our 6th resource, so we can Teachings for Counterspell now starting next turn. So again, we're playing out this instead of the Dismal Backwater because it lets us Teachings for Counterspell. Yeah, 6 playing 10 tapped lands in it. I mean, a ninja it? Sure. You know, it's situations like this where I think I want to Dispel in the main deck. It just died. That's sweet. And now it replays the Spire Golem when we get to Tragic Slip it. That sounds great. I'm assuming he doesn't have counterspells in his hand at this point other than, like, possible Daze. He's a Vapor Snag. I'm not sure why he didn't save the Ninja. We could get Dazed here. He's got 1 card left. Alright, what am I getting with this? Probably just an Exclude. Maybe a Doomblade or removal spell. Yeah, Doomblade's probably fine. Following a bounce land. Sure, that's real. But I mean, like, we only have 2 Aqueducts too, so like... One, two, three, four, five, 6. So I think he would have dazed the Teaching, so I'm just going to go ahead and Justice with buyback here. And if we run into Daze, we feel real bad about life. But like I said, I'm reading not having Daze, so I think he would have dazed the Teachings. Appreciate everyone hanging out here tonight, playing some Pauper. Fresh off another reasonable Open Series performance. Top 16 finish there. See Pikachu running on screen there. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate the support. I'm just going to go ahead and Doomblade. I guess I'll do it during his upkeep. There's no reason. If he's got a counter spell, might as well make him use the resources on his turn. Doomblade this idiot. I suppose this is bad if he has Spell Setter. That's fine. We'll counterspell that. This Crypt Incursion is going to gain us a buck ton of life. AK. Let's do that to start. We drew Deprived, so I'm just gonna make sure this resolves and just cast it normal. We've got a Teachings and an Edict in the discard pile, so your Vapor Snag. All right, well we're gonna deprive that. Put this Radiant Fountain back in our hand. It's like a combo. We'll deprive with the Radiant Fountain. You're a threat. Cantrip, sure. So he's got how many creatures in the bin? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's already gained 21 life. That sounds great. Well, now we're gonna tap this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. AK draws us 2 cards. I think I just want to guaranteed kill his guy. We can draw cards next turn. Like if we had an untapped land here, we could do AK plus Edict, but I think just like guaranteed getting his throat off the table is the most important thing. I did play Coco at the Open. Yep, went 9-4 in matches played, which is respectable. It's like not phenomenal, but respectable. The deck basically just annoys people to death. We've got one Curse of the Bloody Tome that like mills our opponent 2 cards every turn for the rest of the game, but it's not quick or pretty. Crypt Incursion, you gain infinite life. Your opponent concedes is how you win. They often do that. You're not wrong. Like often you just get like this super commanding position and then they scoop. That's what's been happening to us so far, at least. So we're gonna Teachings now and get an Accumulate Knowledge to try and draw a bunch of cards. And play this land out in case he has a Spell Pierce. I guess this gets Mana Leaked, which is bad. Maybe I'm not supposed to play in a Mana Leak there. It's also possible that Teachings are supposed to get another Teachings. But I really don't like doing that. I think I'd rather just like draw into them. Prohibit and Capsize are both great. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just prohibit that. Keter was literally the only one playing that deck, and I did not play against Keter. So. And Keter kind of crashed and burned on day 2, so that deck's probably medium at best, but Standard's over, so. Capsize this guy. Accumulate Knowledge, draw 4 cards. Feel the value. Feel the value. Won't you take me to Value Town? Won't you take me to Value Town? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, now we get to start capsizing his lands. Exactly. He's going to keep playing out Ninja of the Deep Hours to avoid getting his lands capsized. And he gets Spell Pierced here, but that's fine. I guess getting Spell Pierced here actually isn't fine, because then we don't have... yeah, that was bad. We need to draw something now. That was loose. That was loosey-goosey. Now he gets to draw a bunch of cards. We could actually lose this game. I didn't think about that. I just figured we could answer this. Probably should have just counterspelled this. Yeah, I definitely should have just counterspelled this. That was a bad play on my part. It's fine. It's fine. We've drawn plenty of cards. We have lots of removal spells in the deck. Like, our chances of getting unpunished are also, our opponent hasn't played many lands. Their deck probably doesn't play that many lands, I guess, but we've also drawn a lot of lands this game compared to them. I guess we've also seen more cards of our deck too, so now we can't have fun with Capsize. Like, no, it's so sad. It's so sad. Let's exclude this. And I know I shouldn't be tapping Talisman when I'm tapping Talisman. That's probably fine. Hopefully Curse of the Bloody Tome isn't at the very bottom of our deck. That would be bad. Like, watch Justice and Tome be like the bottom two cards here. That would be super, super bad. It's a Curse is always in the bottom 15. Fair. And I already burned one of the Justices, so we need the other Justice basically, or the Bloody Tome. Thanks, John. Appreciate the support. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night, mate. Chose not to shuffle. Probably found a threat. Gosh, we're gonna counter the 2-for-1. Pauper's slower than Legacy, which is sweet. Also, someone told me Tron was everywhere, and I've only played against Tron once. Oh, mind games. Look at that. That'll be fun. Games like what we're playing now are a statistical anomaly, and you shouldn't adjust your deck building around statistical anomalies. The old permanent Yay! Curse of the Bloody Tome. I'll try to have double counterspell here. He can't with. I guess he could have like counter plus dispel. Maybe I'm supposed to twiddle his other land here. We could get punished for this. Yeah, I was definitely supposed to twiddle at least one of his islands here. Yeah, I was supposed to. Oh, he just concedes. Sweet, doesn't have it. Yeah, that was a mistake. I was supposed to twiddle at least one of his islands there and then move to my second main phase when I cast that curse. Alright, so we like Muldrifter. We like Dispel. We maybe like Duress. We like Unmake because they bring in Sturmbound Geist. Oh, you know, like I boarded out some Teachings last time because they're kind of clunky. Boarded out Deprive. I boarded out Mind Games and Capsize. What else did we cut? Anyone remember what else we cut last time? I cut Compulsive Research, I think, maybe? Just like the more expensive draw spells. Want Shrivel. What else am I cutting then, Sawyer? Like, this card just seems super narrow. Like, We can just like race his idiot 1/1s with like we've got justices to clean up the 1/1s. Like this card just seems like really good against they played Delver and then we shriveled it, but outside of that, like we still got a bunch of removal for that. So like what cards are worse than these shrivels? I'm not sold on shrivel being better than anything over here on the left. It like kills fairies and unflip delvers, and like I still need one more cut here. If I don't play shrivel. Yeah, I think Justice is just a fine as the sweeper. You could curse, but you're crazy. No way. No way, you psycho. I can see boarding down a counterspell. Just like cut a prohibit. And like just have dispel, duress, and counterspells those. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, you can block people on Twitch. I got a ton of people blocked on Twitch, I'm sure. This hand seems super reasonable. He has turn one idiot. We get to tragic slip it, and then we get to duress him a whole bunch. Delver, not fairy. All right, that's fine too. I think I'm duressing on one here. Yeah, I'm gonna duress on one. Just get a plan going. I don't know. I like Talisman. I think having a life buffer is good. Talisman is also essentially a removal spell because it deals with his 1-power creatures. Like it makes his 1-power creatures irrelevant. Look at that. Alrighty. Well, I guess we're just gonna work our way through these counter spells. Next turn we'll duress him again. Pretty good pickup. If you look at MTG Goldfish, I think there's a variety of decks. Really? He had Ninja on top of his deck? Ugh. Well, that's good beats. Good beats, opponent. Did he keep his Ponder? He chose to shuffle his library and hit 1 drop into Ninja. Ugh. I'm going to go ahead and warp this and then play Dismal Backwater tapped. He did miss his 3rd land drop at least, so we have that going for us. We get to go ahead and play Swamp, slip his Fairy, and then we can exclude the Spire Golem probably. Chose not to shuffle. Okay, we can just slip this. That sounds great. Sure, but like Ninja drawing 1 card did exactly what it wants to do. Like, I'm gonna save this exclude so when we can fight over it with this spell. Teachings is a good draw. I almost wonder if I was supposed to have taken his Dispel there instead of the second counterspell. He has Deprive, Dispel, Spire Golem in his hand right now. I guess choosing not to kill this meant we were exposing ourselves to another Ninja here. And this might very well just see the Dispel. It did not. Okay, what do I want to get here? I think I'm just getting a Disfigure. Seems fine. I'm just gonna kill this idiot. Oh. He's fighting over this. Really? Huh. Maybe this is a dumb card to fight over? I don't know. It makes our edicts bad. We still have like counterspell and exclude up here. This is a little awkward. If I play this, I can't have counterspell plus exclude up next turn. And I think I want both those up, so I'm just going to pass the turn for now. This might be time walking myself, but I think I just need to leave both of these up in the event that he like draws a land here and then plays Spire Golem. Yeah, so like he has a Deprive in his hand that we know about, so if we would have played this Aqueduct, we'd have gotten super savaged here. So good play, waiting on the Aqueduct. Untapped land is kind of sweet. So do we just get... Do we just flashback teachings here? I think I'll wait. We don't have another teachings in our deck to get because I boarded down to just one, which maybe I'm not supposed to board down on these in this matchup. I guess I could see that being wrong. We're going to flash this back. Probably get another exclude or a counterspell. Yeah, I'm just going to get actual counterspell for now. We've got a lot of things that deal with creatures, so let's just cast Innocent Blood. Play the Aqueduct out. Turn the Swamp. So his hand, we don't know any of the cards in his hand now. Counter this. Maybe I'm not supposed to counter this. I'm supposed to save this for like a gush. Deprive, sure. Man, how greedy am I? 4, 5, 6, 7. We did beat the Delver guy last round. I'm going to Chainer's him for now. It's possible I'm supposed to play this with buyback, but we could get Spell Pierce by doing that, and I'm just tired of getting blown up by Spell Pierce. Gush in response, sure. Definitely Justice buyback. Really? Like, I feel like we just get super savaged by a Spell Pierce that way. Like, any counterspell loses us a ton of tempo. I'd much rather play around the Spell Pierce, I think. Like, now we... Because, like, we have 9 lands, which means we get to play it with buyback around... So, like, we're getting to cast this with buyback this turn around... around Spell Pierce. And, like, you could have another counterspell, but, like, we're not getting Spell Pierced. Alright, sweet. Everything worked out better than expected. Like, I guess if we get Mana Leak there, I feel kind of bad about myself, but... Muldrifter. There's a meatball. Come to daddy. Maybe I'm thinking of my other Delver opponent. We've definitely gotten Spell Pierce tonight out of the Delver deck. It might have been my last Delver opponent. I could be mixing up the matches, but we definitely have gotten Pierce out of one of the 2 Delver decks we've played against. It's possible I was supposed to play this before playing Muldrifter. All I want to do is draw some cards. Just want to draw some cards. Don't try and spam chat. You can post a link. Links are enabled in chat. Yeah. Our not lose the game plan is doing well this game. If we just had like a talisman out during all of this, it would be so good. Man, this justice is going to be sweet next turn. I feel like he has to have a counterspell by now, so I'm probably just going to cast Justice as a 4-drop. He ships with both. It means he has a ninja. All right, and if he's got a counterspell here, I can get to draw some cards. Yep, sure. Period. All right, so we're playing Justice with buyback next turn after cracking him for 2. You mean the face of value? The face of value town? He's the mayor? No, I want to cast it with buyback. I haven't played a land yet, right? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and AK here and try and hit an untapped land. This could get Mana Leak to Pierce, but then we just go ahead and play Justice. Oh, jeez. Then we drew another AK. Just all the value. Play this Pristine Talisman. That's really good. Cast it. Found a Crypt Incursion. Oh man, how many creatures are in his graveyard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just gonna be casual gain 30. We're gonna bait with the Crypt Incursion here. Hopefully the Bloody Tome will resolve then, because I don't think he wants us to gain 30. If he has a counterspell, he's probably using it on that. If he has a counterspell here, we're going to lose this, which will kind of suck. But, like, Muldrifter beats him down. Justice kind of beats him down, so... I guess losing this is pretty bad, though, so maybe we're supposed to wait till we have a counterspell. But I also boarded down on counterspells, too, and we've already burned through a lot of them, so I think we're just supposed to shove this here. Opponent said GG's, so got him. Alright, sweet. This is a format called Pauper. It is an all-commons format on Magic Online, so all the decks are very cheap, which is sweet. Not losing long enough to somehow win. Yep, that's basically the deck's game plan. Just like don't lose long enough, and then somehow you win the game. Iron Blood with the follow. I appreciate the support. Thank you for that. If you enjoy the constructed content we put on here, I would appreciate using the follow or sub buttons below. Those are the 2 best ways you can show your support for the stream. This deck's about $30. JMac21 with the follow. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. This hand's gas. Look at this. Just does everything we want. This deck is so sweet. This deck is just, you just like annoy your opponent until they concede. It's so much fun. Are these mismatched guild gates? These are totally mismatched guild gates. God, that's such scum. Mismatched guild gate, heathen scum. Ooh, affinity. I guess we'll play this so we can have counterspell up. It means we can't have exclude up on 3 unless we draw land, but that's fine. I don't look at deck lists during the stream. If you message me on Facebook or Twitter, I will do my best to get back to you, but again, just usually not on stream. It's average 45 tickets. That's not bad. Yeah, this deck, the different configurations seemed like they ranged from anywhere from what am I thinking? They ranged anywhere from like 18 tickets up to about 50 tickets, depending on what you were doing. This specific configuration that I'm playing was right about the median in there at about 30 tickets. Paper Pauper is a thing depending on your area. It's just like, you know, is Paper Legacy a thing? It's like, well, is Paper Legacy a thing that's supported by, you know, the shops in your area? Like, one of the shops where I live in Bloomington, Illinois, they have Paper Pauper every Sunday night. So it just depends on, and if there's enough interest in Pauper in your area, I'm sure your shops would be interested in hosting it. Like, they're gonna host sanctioned tournaments for whatever people are willing to pay them money to play. That's really good. 2 mana 4/4. We're just going to use our life total as a resource here and take at least 1 hit from this, I think. Pauper Affinity. Galvanic Blast is a common right, but Shrapnel Blast isn't. Yeah, I think we're just going to take a hit for 4 here to hold up Exclude, and then if he doesn't play a creature spell, we'll Doomblade this and accumulate at end step. Tog Fling. Yeah, I knew the deck played a lot of Reach from the last time I used to play Pauper quite a bit when I used to stream long time ago on different channels, but what you got, bud? Another Keepers for yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and exclude this. We've got 2 Steel Sabotage on our board, which I assume is for, you know, the Affinity matchup. Another 4/4? Got a Tog maybe? Sure. I'm just gonna... Ooh. That doesn't do anything, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna Doomblade. Just gonna Doomblade the Atog now. Play the Aqueducts out. Not gonna get flung killed like next turn. Bluff a counterspell here. Going to 12 from the Carapace Forger here. The store with Pauper is called Collectible Corner. It's the one that my buddy Matt Bamonte runs, that I travel with quite often. So if you live in the central Illinois area and are looking to play Paper Pauper, Collectible Corner has Paper Pauper. I believe it's Sunday night. Don't quote me on that. If you message Maddie on Facebook or post on the Collectible Corner page, I'm sure someone will tell you. All the Springleaf Drums are belong to you, bud. So we get to AK here. Next turn we can Teachings for a removal spell and kill this. Okay, so we're in a pretty good spot here, I think. Man, I really don't want to use my life total as a resource that much because they have so much reach in their deck. I think I'm safe taking 1 more hit here. I just don't want to get... Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and Teachings and kill this now. I'm going to go ahead and get Devour Flesh. Yeah. Sacrifice a guy. And he could, like, if his card is Fling and he draws a Tog, he could kill us next turn, but I don't think that's worth playing around. I think I'd rather, like, just buffer my life total a little bit here. We have AK to draw 2 cards. We can flashback Teachings starting next turn. We have Deprive, so we've got a lot going on here if we just don't, especially if he doesn't add to the board next turn. A lot of paper places that run Pauper use the MTGO Pauper list. Like, I know, I'm fairly certain that the shop that Matt works at, they use the MTGO cards that are legal. Hey, Sam, what's going on, mate? A collectible corner. It's, they're CC for short. If you message me on Facebook or Twitter, I can go ahead and give you an address to the shop in Bloomington. Let's get another accumulate knowledge. Just draw all of the cards. We've effectively locked up the game at this point. Just like have to find a pristine talisman so we can grind our opponent out with Justice. Maybe I'm supposed to let this resolve. I think I'm supposed to let this resolve because I can kill it with Justice. You run Devour Flesh over Diabolic Edict. Again, this is not my deck list, so I'm just assuming. I'm assuming it's so when you board in Gurmag Angler against aggressive decks, you can Devour Flesh yourself to gain life. The win con is this card with buyback over and over and over again, or your opponent getting annoyed enough to concede. Counter a Tog, just kill everything else. Fair. I mean, do we even need to counter a Tog if we can kill it? Because, like, if they fling it, we could just counter the fling, right? Then they lose their whole board, and that's good for us. It's in Normal, Illinois. Yep. And now Pristine Talisman, since Mana Burn doesn't exist, just gains us a life every turn now. I probably could have flashed back the Teachings there, I think. Whoops. Artifact lands are legal in Pauper. Yep, all of them. Even yeah, Darksteel Citadel too. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and flash back a Teachings here. Probably could have done this last turn. I think I'm going to grab an AK here. Just like draw the cards. You know what? I could have grabbed a Boomerang. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get a Boomerang. Or maybe I'll just like load up on counterspells here. Capsize, counterspell, capsize, counterspell. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, yeah, we'll get capsized and just start capsizing all of his lands because that's more fun. Capsizing or someone, capsizing. You haven't lived until you've capsized every permanent someone controls. That's fun magic at its finest right there. Spin Justice and Agony Warp. I probably should have kept Agony Warp and been Tragic Slip, but whatever. Really doesn't matter. So we're gonna start capsizing all of our opponent's lands because it's a good time. It's like magic the way Richard Garfield intended it to be played. Oh yeah, we're so unlucky we have to discard. We're just the unluckiest. Yeah, man, you got a Prophetic Prism. So we're just returning 2 of his lands a turn to his hand, so eventually just we'll only have 1 land in play. MTG bot is down right now, and it's very sad. He's just Galvanic Blasting me, sure, man. We've got Pristine Talisman, so we don't even have to worry about being burned out by that anymore. Yeah, man. All the Galv Blaster belong to you. I understand. I'm just going to put this into play. We've got everything we need in hand. We don't need to cycle that. And so we're going to capsize 3 things a turn. Somber Hover Guard. I guess I'll use Justice on that next turn. Maybe. I guess we get double Galvanic Blasted if we do that. So we'll probably just Chainer's Edict that. We drew a land, so we get to go ahead and Edict him and then continue double capsizing. He's gonna have to discard this turn. Did he not even? He didn't even replay a land. All right, you know. Yeah, yeah, it is, Zach. When people ask me what the win condition is in this deck, I'm just gonna start saying capsize. How did we even get here? You know, it's about the journey, really. It's not the capsizing destination. It's all about the journey. Maybe just like hoping to clock us. God, we can almost capsize 3 times a turn. That's so good. I don't know, probably another hour or so. I don't have anything to do tomorrow other than get up with the kids, so. And we could hypothetically start casting Justice here, but that's not nearly as fun as capsizing all of his permanents. I guess he can just keep playing these things out. Alright, I guess we'll actually kill him. That's so sad. That's so sad. Well, we're only 1 land away. If we draw a land, we'll keep capsizing him. That's not the land I wanted. Alright, so this is the actual win condition. Is we just cast this card 11 times with buyback. So, normally all of our opponents have conceded by this point, so we haven't actually had to do this, but we're just going to cast Justice every turn for the next 11 turns. And we don't die to this because we have Pristine Talisman and we have this 1 Crypt Incursion that we just drew. Oh, we won't die first. We have Pristine Talisman. He played a 2/2 out when we're casting Justice every turn. Sure, man. You do you. What do you think is in my hand, dude? What do you think is in my hand? This is our win condition right here. This Justice card that keeps doing 2 damage to each creature and each player. This is the win condition. Crypt Incursion you, gain some life. Prove that you're not killing us. Let's prompt a concession. Go to 35. Nah, I don't care. We're gonna kill him before he. Capsize him to prove that we can. Just mono buyback cards. 1 land left in the deck. Just gonna keep doing this. At some point we'll start doing this 2 and 3 times a turn, but for now we're fine. I don't want to tap out and like not have counter magic up. Oh man, he Galvanic Blast us, showed us who's boss. That's fine. We're gonna have to win. We're just gonna win this match in 2, so the clock doesn't matter. So we're dealing 4 damage to both players each turn, and we're gaining 2 a turn. So the slowest of burns, in the most literal sense. Yeah, we're playing a burn deck. Didn't you see us? Our 7-mana burn spell right here. Hits both of us. Worst Flame Rift ever. Alright, then we should be able to kill him next turn, I think. We can do this 3 times, I think. Yeah, we can. More than enough to do it 3 times. Rudolfo with the follow. I appreciate that. Rodolfo. Appreciate the support. If you're enjoying the constructed content you see here, we play Standard, Modern, Pauper, Legacy, Hex on this channel, all sorts of different things. If you enjoy constructed CCGs, I'd appreciate the follow or sub below. There's 2 best ways you can support your stream. This is just like Magic in its purest form. The way Richard Garfield intended the game to be played. One-sided a total 7-mana deal too. Yep. Fuck. Grind. Alright, Steel Sabotage sounds great. Unmake's probably medium. What am I supposed to board? Suggestions on how to sideboard are grateful. This is my first night trying to play this mess. I probably want slightly less counterspells. That can't be right. Mind Games probably isn't good. We spent 21 mana. I bought it back just in case. We want just max removal. Unmake is good. Yeah, Unmake seems good. Steel Sabotage is great. Duress is medium. Is Mystical Teachings just too slow? I could see this being slow, and like maybe we want to cut at least one of them. Like just cut some of the slower cards in this matchup like I have been. Crypt seems okay just because gaining life is reasonable. Take out Disfigure and Agony Warp. Okay, that makes sense. I don't like boarding in Angler if we're leaving an Innocent Blood, and I think I want Innocent Blood. Let's bring in the extra Duress. You think Angler is worth it? Like, Angler, I just feel like leaving an Innocent Blood and Angler together is just like such a non-bow. One Angler? Yeah, I guess one Angler's fine. Is Echoing Decay do anything? Remember, leave the extra teachings in. Probably can never have too many of that card. We'll try one fish. It's just like I said, fish and Edict are just not a combo. This hand's a pretty easy mulligan, just like no black sources. Opponent also mulligan, so I got that going for us. This hand's medium, but a keep. We can just scry. Do I want this Duress? I feel like I want more things to interact with the board for this hand. Dismal Backwater, sure. We're just gonna Devouring Flesh this idiot and get him out of here. Get gone. That's sweet for us. I guess if he plays another artifact, he can play Frogmite here and still have a threat on the table. Thoughtcast into Frogmite. Powerful, yep. No, Frogmite's good for us. I'll play Radiant Fountain for now. Hold up Exclude / AK. Thank everyone for hanging out here tonight. Looks like we got just shy of 300 people. Appreciate that. If it's your first time watching the stream, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a grinder on the SCG Tour. Currently rank first on their circuit. Play a lot of Constructed Magic here. Constructed Hex. He's got counterspells post board. It's gross. I assume this is a counterspell. He's just gonna float Pyro. Oh yeah. Alright, doesn't even need blue mana. It's just Pyroblast. Alright. It's a little gross. AK now. Try and find an Edict. Steel Sabotage. Okay. I'm gonna play Island to represent counter magic. Yeah, I'm only planning to play Pauper tonight. I'm enjoying this deck, in all honesty. Just like having fun with it. I have tests as well, but I don't really feel like changing mindsets. It's a little bit too late for me to try and fumble around with a Storm deck. Yeah, definitely. We're probably gonna have like a 8-hour Kiki stream when probably have like an 8-hour Kiki stream when we get our Modern back in the middle of April. Edict would be sick here. Or I guess we don't have double black. So bluffing counterspell was actually wrong there because we didn't have double black and we just had Steel Sabotage. So we're going to 7 here, which is not good. So we need to draw a removal spell next turn so we can kill something and then slip the other one. So getting pretty low. Prophetic Prism, whatever. Chromatic Star. Someone asked about Noble Hierarch and Kiki Chord. You don't need additional mana, guys. You're already flood out fairly often in that deck, and you just don't need another. Like you're already playing 29 mana sources. You don't want to play 30 plus. You don't generally want. Well, I guess that buys us a turn technically. You don't want to play Gavany Township with the creatures that you're currently playing, and if you're playing a bunch of mana guys, then you probably want to jam Gavany Township in there somewhere, and you just flood a lot. I don't want to play 30 plus mana sources. Also, Hierarch doesn't make red mana, which is relevant. Doesn't make black mana either, which we splash. That's why I thought we should board out Justice. That's fair. So like if this Justice is like an Angler, it does something. Okay, I could see that. Let's cut the Justices for the third game. I like that. Yeah, let's bring in the extra big fish. Maybe bring in. I don't mind Muldrifter. I think you bring in both Muldrifters. Cut a Teachings. I guess I don't want to deprive in this matchup. That's probably loose. 5/5s good against all their 4/4s and 2/2s. For later this week, I have Tess borrowed on Magic Online. We're going to try and play that in Legacy. So in 3-2 in our first league, it definitely threw away the 2 matches we lost, which is sweet. Like, a format that lets me feel like, you know, the decisions I made were relevant. This format seems like it generates, or maybe it could even just it's likely just the fact that we're playing a control deck. It feels like the format so far, especially playing this deck, is generating a lot of what I would consider good games of Magic. Like they're longer. There's a lot of interaction. My choices are deciding when I win the game. They're also deciding when I lose the game. So. Yeah, I think the red-white Planeswalker is going to be really good in court. I think I'm going to start with 2 of her at the very least. We're just going to try everything. I set a bunch of play points on fire with Belcher. Like, the win percentage was probably around 40%. Like, 2-3 was probably my average league with it, so. I don't have Big Red borrowed right now, but I could. The Card Hoarder is great. Speaking of Card Hoarder, support the sponsors. Another way to support the stream. Card Hoarder, MTG Card Market, Spare Deck. There are discount codes for Card Market and Spare Deck if you're interested in paper cards. Card Hoarder does provide all the cards to the stream. They're good guys. Waiting for my opponent to submit the deck. Sure, I mean, non-rotating formats often don't change a ton. But, like, that makes them good inclusions in, like, it sounds like my youngest woke up. I'm going to run and make him a bottle really quick since we've got plenty of time for this game. I'll be right back, folks. Apologies for the short interruption. You know, this hand was probably not a keep in this matchup. This is a keep against an unknown, but against an aggressive deck, this hand's probably not good. We'll see. We'll see if we get punished, but I definitely would believe that. Oh, that was a phenomenal draw. I guess it doesn't counter. It counters his 2-drop 4/4, but it doesn't counter Frogmite. Prophetic Prism, sure. We're just going to cycle AK here. Yeah, Tron seems like a really good matchup for this deck, which is sweet, because normally in modern, control decks never beat Tron, so control decks beating Tron in this format is wonderful. I've seen some of these decks that were playing up to like 4 exclude, and I see why they play that card after playing games with this deck. I could see this one of random prohibit being worse than like a third exclude at the very least. Enforcer. I guess I can just innocent blood that. The upside to counterspelling it is that I can then teachings next turn. Yeah, I think that's worthwhile. It's more mana efficient too. Let's just use 2 mana this turn. It has another one. Good, sure. And we'll go ahead and Chainer's Edict him because it's more mana efficient. Hopefully they just like ban Ayavugan, and then that turns around that deck's matchup against Tron. Actually, am I supposed to? I think I'm supposed to save this Prohibit for a Tog at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna let this resolve and then Innocent Blood it, and then we still have Prohibit kicked and Teachings up next turn. We only get punished if he plays like a Frogmite here afterwards or another Mirror Enforcer, but there's Thoughtcast, gross. A Tog? Dog is fine. We'll prohibit that. Drawing first, see what he gets. What do you think they'll put in Eternal Masters? No idea. I don't really worry about supplemental products like that. I just like play. I just play Magic. Like, I'm not really worried about what cards are gonna be pushed where, and I don't play limited, so like I don't really have an interest in which cards are in the formats and why. Prohibit that. Innocent Blood this guy. Play this on tap so we can teachings. Double white. Just grab like Devour Flesh here. Yeah, seems good. Galvblast me, sure. Alright, feeling pretty good here. So, we both have 0 cards in hand, but we've got a Chainer's Edict and a Mystical Teachings in our bin, so we're basically up 2 virtual cards at this point. We just drew an AK, it sounds great. Play this. So our Teachings is probably going to get another AK at this point, just so we can draw 3 cards with that. So we have a removal spell with Chainer's Edict in the bin, so even if we brick on the AK, we can still, so we get 4 draw steps to find action here. Ooh, this was bad. I should have played around this. Although I guess whatever we're getting, he could have Power Blasted too. Well, that's probably our best draw. I guess another Teachings would have been good too, but this is pretty good. Yeah, Divination on a bird. Oh yeah. Got our clock on the table here. We're gonna save this duress until we want to resolve something. Let the beatdowns begin. Yeah, I see why boarding in fish seems like it's good. It's gonna allow us, like, if we draw fish, it's gonna let us close this game out. Remember to activate the talisman and gain our life. Look at that. Counterspell sounds great. I'm going to go ahead and duress now in case he finds something that we want to counterspell. Just double Galvanic Blast. Sure. Wonder how many hits he takes before he blasts this. This is probably way too aggressive. Yeah, I've got a Edict in the bin. Blasting Muldrifter, sure. Yeah, I should have saved that for an Atog. Alright, now we're looking for an AK or a Teachings. Another Muldrifter would be great. At least we're gaining a life every turn cycle that passes, so we got that going for us. Big fish. Gone fishing. Be back later. Make sure we don't take any of the cards that matter. Play our clock. Seems pretty powerful. Good old-fashioned big fish beatdown. Got him. Yeah, AK seems super powerful, especially because, like, Teachings for AK is great. Like, especially in the late game, like, Teachings for, like, draw 3 and then Teachings for draw 4 is just phenomenal. Yeah, I definitely think that this sideboard configuration, the only thing I'm not 100% on is the duresses that we boarded in. I could see those not being great. We are not playing any Bojuka Bogs. We have a lot of tapped lands. We've got 1 Evolving Wilds, 4 Dismals, 3 Guild Gates, and 2 Aqueducts. So that's like 10 tapped lands. We have Dispel and Duress in the deck. I've got both right now. Or do I? Yeah, actually, I'm not sure. I think you're right. I think we don't have... I don't think there's Dispels in the deck, actually. Alright, Teaching should basically end the game. We should cast Innocent Blood. Yep. Opponent goes to 3. Man, he just got a fat stack of Pyroblast on his board. Is that all 4? No, I think it's only 3, right? There's 1, 2, 3. So he could have a 4th in his hand. That explains why he hasn't been doing anything. GG's opponent. There's 2 more lands in his hand. Sweet. Got him. Pikachu right on screen there. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate the support. If you enjoy the constructed magic, constructed hex that we play here, I'd encourage you to use the follow or sub buttons below. Those are the two best ways you can support the stream. Yeah, likely. Like, those are all the decks that were good before Eldrazi were decks, so I'd expect them to be good after. Hex is a digital CCG that's similar to Magic, but has a number of distinct differences. Like, for starters, it has a reasonable digital client. It's a purely digital game, though, so it is able to explore some design space that Magic can't by having digital-only mechanics, such as tracking modifiers of cards through different zones, which is really sweet. And like token cards that it creates are basically permanent, which is nice. It's a lot of little things like that that are different in it. There's a couple links to Hex below the stream. It's completely free to make and account for, so if you want to give it a try, it's definitely worth doing. It doesn't cost you anything. You get 200 free cards and you create an account, and you get to play through basically Duels of the Planeswalkers-ish PvE component, and then there's also a PvP component that you can buy cards for, or you can grind them from the PvE component. And then they just started having their first like professional-ish type circuit for it. They had just had their first $100,000 cash tournament, and they're gonna have more of those as well, which is sweet. Which was part of the reason I picked it up. Well, that's annoying. God, how good would it have been if we'd have drawn the deal 2 damage to each idiot card there? It'd been pretty good. Let's cast this AK now. Probably should have tapped these two to do that. I'm going to go ahead and I guess I'll pass the turn. I really don't want to get sprited. Let's just cast this. No, no! Ninja is so annoying. Alright, we hit Justice. I'm gonna go ahead and try an AK here to start. See what we get. If he fights this, I'm gonna fight over this for sure. This draws 3 cards. Yeah, sweet. Ugh, I guess we actually have to discard here. That's not good. I think we're going to discard Teachings here. Yeah, that's not great for us. He gets to draw another card now. We've not played against Mono Black yet. We've played against this deck a number of times, though. This is our 3rd time playing against Delver in 8 matches. This Mono Blue Delver, specifically. Well, that's not great. I guess we just do this. Otherwise, we have to discard. Probably has 2 counterspells here. I just feel bad about life. Yep. So draw another card. I mean, we're 2-0 against this deck so far. I feel like I sequenced this game poorly to let him get to the spot that he's in right now. Untapped land. Untapped land. Yeah. Please resolve. Please resolve, please resolve, please resolve. Please only have 1 counterspell. Please only have 1 more counterspell. What are the odds he only has 1 more counterspell? Probably low. He's drawn like 3 cards with this Ninja of the Deep Hours. That's his 3rd actual counterspell. Don't have another one. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Force Spike. Yeah. Sometimes. Ugh, I guess we're not just dead, But sometimes they wanted a whole lot more than you. That's like a budget days, right? Like this has to be strictly worse than days. Yeah, double Spire Golem. We're done. Rested pepperonis. Alright, so Dispel in, Muldrifter in, Unmake in, Trimmed Teachings, Compulsive Research, Deprive, Mind Games, Capsize. And that was it, I think. I brought in Duress too last time. That's pretty good. Prohibit's pretty medium, I think. One more cut. I think I cut the extra mystical teachings last time. It's probably a reasonable crypt incursion, which we really haven't needed. Let's do this. This hand's a little medium. Needs lands, but I guess it's got AK. Pikachu run on screen there. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate the support. This is the third time we've played it, and I haven't boarded in Shrivel at all. Like, Shrivel is good, like, in exactly this position. Like, he has Delver turn 1 on the play. But other than that, it only kills Spell Stutter Sprites and, like, Fairy Miscreants, and I just don't think either of those are worthwhile. I think I just have to kill this. Yeah, I'm going to be greedy and try and hit a swamp. I'll hit an island, that's fine. We could get ninja'd here. If we get ninja'd, I guess I just feel bad about life. Oh, sweet, we didn't get ninja'd. Oh, that lets him draw a card, though. Untapped land, no force spike. Untapped land, no force spike. No force spike. Rude. And he has a ninja. Yeah, so he gets the ninja in one of these. Yeah, we're going to lose this for sure. He just draw a card from this, and then he gets to replay Fairy Miscreant and draw another card. I guess if he taps out to play the Fairy Miscreant here, and then we hit our untapped land, we can Justice and clean up. Justice, untapped land one time. Thanks, Worth. It's never getting there. Alright, it's getting kind of late here. Been streaming for a little while. I'm going to go ahead and let's play one match of Legacy. And then we'll call it a night. Let's try and figure this out. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this at after midnight, but this looks like a good time. Let's give this a go, I think. Play a match or two of this. Legacy. Because I want to win the game as quickly as possible, and Tess wins the game on turn 1 more consistently than Ant does. As for people saying the deck list is awful, this is Brian Cook's deck list. I messaged Brian Cook and said, hey, you're the test guy. What would you play? I mean, like, he literally wrote the book on the deck, right? Like, this is his pioneered archetype version. Like, I know that Ant is more popular, but I am a sucker for a good toolbox. We've got a Burning Wish toolbox here, so. I mean, Caleb sure didn't innovate or create anything. He's just known for playing Ant. Which is fine. Like, he's done really well with Ant. Like, he did really well with Ant last year, at least. Sure, but I'm just telling you, you're some Joe random on the internet who's looked at this deck list and given me zero reasoning for your changes, whereas I went to the person that is known for doing well with the deck and built the deck, you know, with his own original ideas, and he said, these are the cards you should be playing, so I'm more inclined to listen to that guy as opposed to Joe Random on the internet. And that's honestly, that's one of the most frustrating things to interact with the Magic community, is that a lot of people in the Magic community refuse to acknowledge what they don't know, and everyone thinks they're an expert about everything. It's just like, and like, people were talking about these legacy decks and these Pauper decks, and if you've been watching the stream for a while, the first thing you hear me say is, we don't make changes to them before we play them. Like, these other people made these decisions for specific reasons, and these cards aren't in this deck by accident, so you should start with the cards that they played and play a number of matches with it before you try and really make changes to those decks. That's how you become a better deck builder, is by understanding what people are doing. If the legacy match is going to fire here, I'll be sad if it doesn't. I'll be so sad. I just want to try and kill someone on turn 1 or turn 2. Is that asking too much? Yeah, exactly, Zach. Like, if I wanted a Lantern control deck list, I would go to Zach and I'd say, Zach, what am I supposed to be playing? And I wouldn't touch a card in it until I've played probably at least a dozen matches, maybe more. And then maybe if I felt like something could change a little bit after playing a dozen or so matches, I might change a card or two. But you don't touch it, what you've been given, until you really understand the ins and outs of why every card is in the deck. Look at these. We even got mismatched brainstorms here. Again, I don't own any of these cards. So, are these like 4 different brainstorms? Or just 2 different kinds? Yeah, black-white deck was very reasonable. We can't play Kiki Chord right now. Modern and Standard don't exist on Magic Online until the middle of April. So as soon as Modern is a format of Magic Online again, we will play it. For now, they replaced Modern with this awful format called Eldrazi. I'm not sure why they made that decision. Lost the die roll. We're probably going to play pretty slowly just because, like, the game decisions themselves, like, the games themselves are going to be quick, so, like, our decisions are important, so we're going to try and make sure we take the optimal lines. So what does this hand do? This hand has plenty of mana in it. It's got Cabal Therapy to interact with our opponent. I think I'm allowed to keep this. Invitationals are all standard and modern now. Burning Wish is a win condition. We've got some mana. Can this hand make a bunch of goblins? This is 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4, 5 mana. So this hand can't make goblins yet. We can't empty, right? Because this is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we can't empty. I mean, I'll give you guys a chance to tell me I'm wrong and show me how, but this is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. You need 6 mana to empty. Were you supposed to Cabal Therapy him? I think I'm supposed to Cabal Therapy him. What's the goblin we're afraid of? Like Siege Gang Commander here? Do they even play that? That's not a card, right? We have a basic swamp that's not full art because I'm a heathen. Am I supposed to fetch basic swamp? No, that's probably wrong. Would we Cabal Therapy here? Who likes Cabal Therapying here? What's the scariest thing he can put in off a Goblin Lackey? Like Matron's guaranteed a 4 of, so probably Matron. Yeah, I'm gonna name Goblin Matron because that's like guaranteed a 4 of. Therapy Ringleader. Yeah, I think I like Matron because Matron like gives him specifically like if he has something that interacts with us somehow. Double Matron. Look at that. And he has a Wasteland and we fetched the basic swamp like a boss. Ah, it feels so good. Gonna rub it all over my body. Yeah. Yeah. Channeled our inner wizard. We peered into his goblin soul. And took him away. Get out of here. Get got. Needs to put Krenko into play. Sure. Another land is not what we want. So we can make goblins now, but that doesn't seem very good, right? So what are we... This is our Burning Wish package. I think we're just supposed to play a fetch land and pass. That feels miserable, but I think that's what we're supposed to do. Grape Shot his board. You want to like spend our entire hand to Grape Shot his board? That seems really bad. Yeah, we want to just like wait and set up tendrils, right? Like wait to set up like Past in Flames tendrils kill you. His last goblin's a chieftain. Yeah, we're just gonna... I mean, if he draws a land here, if he draws a red source, his Krenko plus chieftain's gonna kill us really quickly, but I think we're supposed to wait. Oh yeah, we have Ad Nauseam in our deck, right? How is he gonna time Walkers with Wasteland? I played a fetch. So we're dead next turn. What does Infernal Tutor get us? Anything? Infernal Tutor gets us Dark Ritual. So that's even on mana, right? Because Infernal Tutor for Ritual, and then that takes 3 mana and gives us 3 mana. Infernal for Ad Nauseam. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we don't have LED. We can't do that. We can't play out our land. Yeah, we can't Infernal for Ad Nauseam. Do we have enough to Burning Wish for Petition and cast Ad Nauseam? That's not... We probably don't have enough mana for that, right? We play... Yeah, having 4 lands is pretty miserable. And we're definitely playing this out. Cracking this for red mana. We're dying this turn. We're dying next turn either way, so let's figure out what we're doing here. I don't think we have enough Storm to kill him with Tendrils here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Ritual makes 5. This is 6. Yeah, we only have 6 Storm. Petition for LED doesn't do anything. So we can play Lotus Petal. We can play... Yeah, but then he Krankos and puts a bunch of goblins into play. No, we don't have a Massacre. He said he cut it. Massacre's not even good. It doesn't kill Krenko. Alright, let's just make some mana and figure out what we can do with that mana. Pretty sure we're just supposed to Infernal Tutor for a ritual here. Yeah, I think we're dead here too. Yeah, this last fucking land in our hand is gonna kill us. There's 2. It's a storm right now. 6. Yeah, we could get past in flames and then go ritual, ritual, tutor, but then we have the stupid delta in our hand. That's unfortunate. I mean, we can grape shot and kill Kranko and Lackey, and then he has pile driver and 4 tokens. We could empty, but that doesn't. I'm just gonna concede. Oh, did that just reveal our sideboard to him? That probably just revealed our sideboard to him. So we don't need duress. Do we want abrupt decay in this matchup? Like, he's boarding in Thalia, or do we want to just like kill him before he Thalias? Basically, I think that's the plan. Just like board in Thoughtseize, just because it's better. It's better than duress. Is duress better than Thoughtseize? Like, I believe you that we're probably supposed to run it back, but Thoughtseize seems like just better than duress, right? Because this takes Thalia away. Yeah, I agree. I agree we drew poorly. This matchup's good. I know this matchup's good. This hand needs like a land and an LED. I think this is a keep. You know, ponder. We've been a little under 4 hours right now. I'm gonna play a match or 2 with this and then call it a day. That's pretty good. I'll just keep all these. No. I put Chrome Mox on top because it actually helps us get like these extra tutors out of our hand. We're probably not killing him until turn 3 with this hand. Oh wait, can we kill him now? Just put a bunch of goblins on the table? We could, we play this. We're definitely playing this, so let's do that. And this is 1, 2, 3. And then we could put this under Chrome Mox. And then tutor for a dark ritual. And then we have red and 1 red left over, and then Burning Wish for empty. Yeah, that works, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. We can kill him next turn, but we can just make a bunch of goblins right now, right? And then his Goblin Lackey's useless. And the storm count would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I kind of like just making goblins this turn, because like he could play a Thalia next turn, and then we just die. His hand just can't our hand just can't interact with a Thalia right now. I mean, goblins effectively kills him. Thalia is the reason to go for it. FYI. Oh, does this not work? Are we short a red mana now? Fuck, we're short a red mana, aren't we? I was supposed to... God damn it. I was supposed to tutor for Rite and Flame, not for Dark Ritual. Yeah. Yeah, I'm short red. Hmm. Can't do anything to salvage this. Yeah, we're supposed to Dark Ritual and tutor for Right and Flame. Now we just tutor for Ritual and then get Petition. And then go off with Ad Nauseam next turn. No, so we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're just 2 storms short, so it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 goblins is not enough. We can Dark Ritual up to 3. We can make goblins. Yeah, I'm just gonna go get yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just hope he doesn't have I'm just gonna hope he doesn't have Thalia in hand.